WCW Fall Brawl, 1997. Back when War Games was a pretty cool stipulation. Pretty cool. It's not anymore. Stinks now. But I mean, 28 years ago was pretty sick. We got the Horsemen facing off against the NWO in the main event. Pretty stacked card across the board. All sorts of titles on the line. We got big man hoss matches. We got cruiserweight matches. We got meathead tag team matches. And a crazy double cross to close out the show. This one's loaded. This one's fall. This one's brawl. And this one's cute. I'm pointing at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm pointing. Look at me. I'm pointing at you. You're cute. Oh boy, it's the Apron Bump podcast.
The hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock this. Let's get it started.
What's up, everybody? What the heck is up, everybody? Welcome to the Apron Bump podcast. I am your host, the hardest part of the ring, Kyle. How is everybody doing today? Glad to have you here on this brisk fall day. Ain't it apropos that Fall Brawl falls towards the beginning of fall here on Earth? As I was about to say in Virginia, but seasons are pretty much the same everywhere. Although, are they though actually? Because some places don't really have seasons. Where do you guys stand on that? Do you like seasons? Some people are like, oh no, I like the same weather all year. Like, what? Like a dickheads in like San Diego are like, oh, I don't even own jackets. Why? I want you jacket, huh? Pointing at my penis. Anyways, we got WCW Fall Brawl 1997 on deck for you guys today. Very fun show. 1997. We're in the heart of it. Well, kind of towards the end of it now, but we're in the heart of a super hot era of wrestling all across the board. WCW, WWF, ECW. It's all good. Well, it's not all good, but it's fun. I'll say that. There's a lot going on. It's very eventful, if nothing else. And this show is pretty eventful as well. A lot of the good stuff here. We got the TV title on the line. We got the Cruiserweight title on the line. We got number one contenders matches. We got DDP teaming up with Lex Luger to take on Scott Hall and Macho Man. We got Alex Wright versus somebody. Who the fuck did Alex Wright face in this match? I was racking my brain trying to remember. And that's one thing about this show, is even in the fact that I couldn't remember who Ultimo Dragon, Alex Wright versus Ultimo Dragon. We talk about it in the episode. I think there's a good discussion to have about like how to structure a show to make things not blend together too much. I think we see that a lot with modern day like AEW, where it's just like good wrestling. And yeah, it's like obviously you want to have good wrestling, but it's like you need to have different textures and flavors. And I'm wondering if this show really had that or not. But like I said, we'll talk about it. But again, TV title on the line here. We got Chris Jericho versus Eddie Guerrero for the Cruiserweight title. Eddie's going under a transformation that we'll talk about. We got Mortis and Wrath teaming up to face off against the Faces of Fear. Dean Malenko versus Jeff Jarrett. Come on now, talk dirty to me. The Giant versus Scott Norton. Hold on one second. You hear that? It's a lot of meat slapping. And the meat will be slapping as well in the main event. We got War Games, the Four Horsemen versus the NWO. I'm laughing because I know what we talk about in terms of this match and maybe some promos leading up to it. But it's a fun episode, and it's fun because I am joined by my lovely guest, Juice Springsteen, from the Juice Box Wrestling Podcast. Returning to the show, always a good old time with my boy, Juicy J. Go check out the Juice Box Wrestling Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. He talks about all of the major scuttlebutt with the current day of pro wrestling while mixing in his how would you say, his lust for old school WCW. Lust, I think, is the proper term there. But yeah, he's a great follow on social media if you want to get like deep cut stuff on WCW. Really cool like merchandise and like fun facts and this day in history, like stuff like that. He's on the ball with WCW, which is why I love having him on here. And we have a good old time talking about it. Yes, all of his socials and all of that hullabaloo will be in the description below. Give him a follow, a subscribe, a like, a poke in the cheek, a tickle in the belly button. Do all of those same things to me at Apron Bump on all the social media. If you like this timeline of wrestling, you like mid to late 90s wrestling, well, I have good news for you, hypothetical listener. I cover all this stuff chronologically. This timeline, among other timelines that I cover, whether it's the golden eras of TNA and Ring of Honor, the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, or right here, we got the Wrestling Wars of the 90s. You can find that all on apronbump.com. If you go to the episodes tab, you can select whatever promotion or era that you would like to relive alongside me. And check it out. Listen wherever you listen to podcasts, on YouTube as well. Give it a like and subscribe. And speaking of Wrestling Wars of the 90s, stay tuned for the end of the episode, where the hardest promotion battle of 1997 continues, where we pit WWF against WCW against ECW, a three-way dance of sorts, or a triple threat if you're WWF. We pit these three promotions against each other to see which company is doing the best in 1997. Currently, as it stands, WCW has 29 points, ECW has 25, WWF has 4 points. What do these points mean, hardest part of the ring? You're yelling at your radio right now. Well, we'll explain it at the end of the episode, but basically we look at the best and the worst that each promotion has given us in 1997. We look at the grades of the average grades of their pay-per-views, the best in-ring, out-of-ring, storylines, characters, matches, all of that stuff. The best and the worst. We'll get into it. But whichever promotion has the most amount of points at the end of 1997 will earn themselves a purchase of a championship belt of that respective company from yours truly. As you can see behind me, with the old Intercontinental title, WWF was hardest in 1996. Who will be hardest in 1997? Well, again, stay tuned and we'll find out together. But until then, let's talk about a little WCW, shall we? WCW Fall Brawl, 1997, with myself and Juice Springsteen from the Juice Box Podcast.
Took you an hour to send the link.
So you were saying, so why do you want those people evaporated from the earth? So why do you hate those particular people and you want them on their own island? I can't tell if you're fucking with me or not. Wieners.
Kyle.
What?
Can you hear me?
No.
Oh, okay. Guess you're going to have to send that link again. Make sure you send it this time.
That's what I think about that. That's what I think about that.
Is that the WCW NWO sold out 97 soundboard?
You're the only person on Earth that would have been able to identify that. Yes, it is. It certainly is.
Well, they only used it once, unless they did it on NWO set.
Can I tell you? So my wife was next to me while we were watching Fall Brawl 1997, and I discovered. Well, she was like next. She was like on her phone, like with it in the background,
watching. Right,
watching. Yes. She hates the NWO. What is it? The NWO. It's like the new world order. Oh. New world order. Which I never like thought about, but it is like it's literally like them hitting the button. New world order.
The biggest icon in pro wrestling.
Ooh, yeah. It's good. I do appreciate them giving a little spice to each one, though.
I thought you were gonna say that like the B team.
Oh, I hate that. I hate the B team song.
I hate the B team. We'll get to it. Kevin Nash looked like he was the biggest star by like 3 different.
You mean the chaperone of the little kids going into war
God.
games?
Yeah, I mean all those guys. It was like their first main event ever. No pressure. It's just Fall Brawl against the Horsemen in Horseman Country.
Yeah. Ultimately, though, the story coming out of it, though, doesn't really involve them. So I guess it's kind of low pressure when you really think about it.
Sure, but I just question why they were there in the first place. I'm not saying you had to have Hogan, but did we have to have? You couldn't have had Savage and Hall in that match.
Well,
And you could put Six too. Six and the Outsiders and Savage. There you go.
But Buff, does anybody else have the stuff? Is what I'm
No.
trying to rack my brains. Buff definitely has the stuff.
And they tried to get him over by doing the parody and everything. So had the other guys done the parody, they would have been in the match. And I get that, but it's like they did a great job with the parody. But and as they always say, and then the bell rang. So like the bit was good, but you had to follow through with the match with the same guys. Their comedic chops are not as good as their in-ring chops, especially not in War Games.
Yeah, man. As time goes on, it's so clear that like Nash and Hall, like that's the NWO. Like that's where it starts and ends, in my opinion. But
for the most part, I mean, like Conan found his groove in the Wolfpack, right? Like I liked Buff as a single and or with Vicious and Delicious, like like Stevie Ray, Vincent.
The Butcher.
I like Norton, but come on. No, the Disciple.
Sorry, the Disciple. Booty Daddy.
It's a different character. Yeah, Booty Man.
Booty Man, not Booty Daddy. That's another.
That's Scott
NWO
Steiner,
member.
another
Yes.
NWO member. Are we talking about NWO members, or are we talking about the members of the Don Callis family?
Oh man, at this point, it's they're neck and neck. The Don Callis family is definitely sexier, that's for sure.
How about that like strobe light for like 45 seconds at the top of the ramp on Dynamite?
They love a strobe light. I mean,
they all stood up there, and I'm like, are we supposed to continue watching this? Because none of your audience is going to be alive after this segment's over.
It really is amazing that more people don't have seizures watching wrestling, like a Shinsuke Nakamura entrance where it's just
I feel like they don't even like warn about pyro, let alone like if you watch this show, your sensitivity, because they just assume it'll be a one-off. Yet you go to like a concert or you watch a movie or something, it'll say like, there's going to be sequences of strobes and lights and everything. But with wrestling, I guess because it's kind of like live, anything can happen on the World Wrestling Federation, including.
It's very true. That's very true. I mean, you wouldn't want somebody to get epilepsy and fall over. But speaking of Fall Brawl, 1997, Rage in the Cage. What a shirt! This guy always a little mushroom cloud.
It's a fist, but same thing. It's both.
But I think it's like a mushroom cloud in the shape of a fist,
but does it not? Yeah, it's both. That's what I'm saying. By the way, if you watch this show, this exact design, this is the crowd design for the crowd shirt. If you see this show, this same design is on the back of the cameraman's shirts. And from a distance, without knowing it, it looks like a skull because of the texture of black with the letters being white. And I'm like, what the hell design is that? And I was like, oh, wait, it's the same design, but it's on a black T-shirt. So it has I don't know if that was the desired effect, but I found that to be fascinating. One of the first of very useless facts you will find out during this program.
That's what I expect. We'll have Juice Springsteen on the program, but it's great. No, I'm glad to have you once again. Always a hoot having you to delve into the archives of WCW. Fall Brawl 97, man.
Looking forward to this one.
Where does this show fall? And like, is it like one of your favorite shows? Middle of the road? Where do you
like
have
this
it?
Specific pay-per-view?
Yes, 1997.
I always tell people this. I feel like I brought it up to you before in anticipation of this show. I've brought it up to people in general. So 1997 is, not only probably the best overall year, if not my favorite year in wrestling. It's probably like my most favorite year ever. Like just the nostalgia of, I was 4 when this show happened, but I remember a lot of things like getting Super Brawl 7 unset, like the flow of pay-per-views throughout this year and just kind of being like so hooked into pro wrestling at this time, even as a little kid. And like looking back at certain things that happened in 97 across all forms of entertainment, it's like, wow, this was a really big year for a lot of stuff in the world. And I always look back at that as like, maybe that's a pivot point of like cool things to come. And this show and how it ends specifically really was like one of the first real moments I recall being like, I guess worked is the word, but seeing Flair get his head slammed in the cage, I believe I saw it the next night. I don't know if I saw this live. I'm pretty sure that because they showed stills of it the following night on Nitro. And I remember being like, is he dead? Is he coming back? Like, they made it seem horrific. And then you watch the actual show, and they also make it that way. They make it incredibly dramatic. They kind of go off the air abruptly-ish. We'll talk about it, but there's two guys. Not if you watch the from the feed, it's to your right if you're watching, but it's to the guy who's wearing the NWO shirt in the front row to his right. There's two guys there that are livid at Hennig as he's like about to do it, and they're trying to be like, you got like, they're so bought in.
They're in horseman country, baby.
Yeah, they slam his head into the door with the door, and they are just like in awe and just like royally pissed. So this was a huge angle that really was like, whoa, this is scary, this is real. And looking back, it's like, wow, no wonder 97 had such a huge impact on everything. Because of stuff like this, I mean, we'll talk about the highs and lows of the show, but man, I don't know. It was riveting stuff. Pretty dramatic for WCW, I'll say that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Continuing to lean into that realism element of pro wrestling, which could argue was started by ECW, and then WCW and WWF started to take shape in response to that. So we're balls deep into that, and yeah, crazy angle to close the show. But as a whole, I would say I enjoyed the show. I would say maybe it's just me, because I usually don't watch these shows in one sitting, but I did. And it's not like a crazy long show. It's like 2:45 or something.
Yeah.
It felt kind of monotone to me. Like it felt like there was like a lot of good wrestling, but for whatever
Especially
reason,
in the first half.
yeah. But it kind of just like there's different. There's cruiserweights, there's tag teams, there's the Giant and Norton match. Of course, War Games is its own thing. But I feel like the rest of the show just felt like, I don't know, it just felt like the same thing over and over again. It felt like it dragged a little bit, even though the content was good. It's nitpicky, I know, but I don't know if you had that same kind of thought.
Well, I would agree, because the first couple matches took up, 15 plus minutes, almost all of them? Like the Alex Wright match. The Harlem Heat match didn't take that long, and that was a real bright highlight, because they were just mauling each other. But a lot of the early matches seemed to take a little longer than I would have liked, which is also interesting, because towards the end, they kind of shortened up the matches with the Mortis and Wrath thing, and then Giant and Norton. And even the DDP Luger tag match felt short.
Yeah.
Even though we'll talk about the final spot, which seemed to take forever to take place. All to lead up to War Games. And even that, like looking at the time codes, it was like Hennig comes in and then it's over. Like the drama was throughout the night. It was the commentators. It was everything leading up to that. And then boom, there it is. Like it wasn't necessarily just in the War Games match. And I think like I brought up, the guys that are in it for the NWO, they needed all the help they could get to push this thing, to the next level. So I can agree. It was a slow show to start, throughout parts of it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It makes me appreciate like modern wrestling. I feel like they've captured like how to get those moments, like to just like have everything focused in on that moment. Whereas we'll talk about it later, but the angle to close the show, it just felt like, oh, it's happening. Oh, okay. See ya. See you on Nitro. But
yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, all that being said, I do agree some of the first matches were a little long, but I would say maybe the opening match, even with that said, like could be match of the night here. We got the Cruiserweight Championship on the line, which is funny considering who's involved. Chris Jericho versus Eddie Guerrero for the Cruiserweight title. So these guys had a match on Super Brawl of this year, early in the year. And I vividly remember watching that match because at that time they were just two plucky baby faces. There was no heat to the match. Like the moves were fine. The match, I don't know if it sucked, but like it kind of did because nobody gave a shit about it. Vastly different story here, in my opinion. We got a heel Eddie Guerrero. He's jacked. He's got the mullet rocking. He's got the singlets out of here. He's got the attitude. Yeah. Jericho's still more or less the same, but man, this match clicked so much better for me than their Super Brawl match. Lot to say about it, but I mean, what did you think about this one?
The singlet's gone. The bottom of the trunks are still that lightning design, so he's not fully there yet. You'll see it the next month at Halloween Havoc's when he's got his what you know as the Eddie Guerrero, not really Latino heat, but I mean, as he was starting to become that type of character, his tights changed to that like gold and black. Before we even get to that, because you know me, I love tackling every bit of this show.
Please.
Just when they start the show with the highlight package, I think I've brought up before something with my mom and like talking about certain things from pro wrestling we remember. I'll rack my brain as we talk throughout the show to see if I can recall the one I definitely brought up on this show. But one of the things that we always would talk about is my spot. and watching the parody again and like hearing like, because I also re-listened to the 83 Weeks episode of this with Eric Bischoff and Conrad, and they talked about like, because Conrad was really grilling him about like how, you know, it's in Horseman country and blah blah blah, but there was never like a payoff. Like they just got mocked, never really got a response from Arn, and then they got heel turned and lost in the cage, and it was just like all NWO. And Eric's response was, "Well, it's all heat," and I agree with both. But on the point of Conrad, just I don't know. I kind of think that the Horsemen weren't huge across the board in WCW. I think WCW, Eric Bischoff, whoever, you know, powers that be, knew that this show was going to be in this building in Horseman country, and they're going to lean into that because it comes off from them that like, oh, it was kind of like a rogue thing. Like, how could you do this in their town? But the whole show, the commentators, and during the main event, they're even saying, you know, this is the death of the Horsemen, right in Horseman country. They're playing it up. So to hear that maybe the Horsemen were upset that they got mocked and they didn't like it and all this stuff, I want to say that's like them working. I don't know how much I buy that they were really hurt. Maybe personally, but because some of the stuff's awful. Like them mocking Arn's alcoholism and stuff is like terrible.
Yeah.
But I also think that it worked for the heat. Again, it's the people that ended up having to wrestle that I have the problem with. So there's a disconnect there. But the promo itself was so good. And I think it's a lot better than the Nation of Domination thing. Like,
yeah, I was about to say, just for people unaware, it's very similar to the Nation DX thing where Nash was dressed first, as
right?
Yes. So Arn Anderson officially retired. That's what he gives Kurt Hennig not only a spot in the Horsemen, my spot, which is just like a tick that just runs through my head all throughout the day ever since I saw that. But then I think it's the following week, the NWO parody, because it was an emotional thing. Like Flair's in the background crying, like, damn, this is like, and all throughout the night, people are giving their testimonials on Arn Anderson, like, thank you, much respect, Godspeed. Next week, NWO comes out, Kevin Nash with the bald cap and the fat suit and the glasses. And then I think Conan is Mongo coming out with the football. You got Buff is Mr. Perfect.
Buff is somewhat, it might be my favorite because he's got like the hair and he's like, it would be an honor. It's so good. He's doing, because when you know what happens at the end, when Henning's actually in on it the whole time, they still went ahead and parodied Kurt Hennig. And but
it was tame. It was a tame depiction in comparison because who was F6 was Ric Flair.
Oh, huge nose, and he cried at everything.
Oh man, yeah, but to your point, Nash is pretty brutal with all the references and
liver spot.
Because it's like a real like legitimately Arn can't wrestle anymore due to his limitations. So, and you might be wondering like, oh, well, NWO's mocking the Horsemen pretty brutally. Surely the Horsemen are going to come out and say something about it. But the angle is because Tony Schiavone gets on commentary during it. It's like, oh, every security member in the building is keeping the Horsemen in their locker room. Like, come on, man. You need something better than that to explain them not coming out or ever, to your point, getting their revenge on them. So
yeah, it comes off as like lazy. Like they couldn't have come out, say something, cut a promo, anything. Because especially again with hindsight, it's they don't win either. They didn't get any like plus in their favor the whole time, and then they get beat in Horseman Country, and it's just like, okay, like it is the death of them. Like any sort of juice that they had left, gone. So, but I love the,
I mean, the Horsemen, I didn't live through their glory days, but like, I mean, Flair, Benoit, Mr. Perfect, Mongo, that's a pretty sick group. Like, Benoit's got a lot of momentum.
If it were going to stay, if Hennig was actually going to have it, yeah.
Sure, yeah, exactly. So it's like, the Horsemen could have been a viable, like, no one's touching the NWO. Nobody in wrestling is touching the NWO in terms of popularity. But like, the Horsemen, they were a good fodder or a good, foil, babyface foil for the NWO, and especially in their hometown here. It's one thing for them to lose, but yeah, there needs to be some sort of follow up to that, which I'm not as familiar. But I guess is this feud done after this match or after the show?
So again, we're already getting to the main event, so we'll talk about it a little bit more later. But there's really nothing else. The only stuff that happens the rest of the year is Flair versus Hennig. Right. And I do believe it was eventually going to be a cage match between the two, but that never materialized. And then you just get some bizarre stuff. You get Flair and Bret Hart. You get some interesting stuff through '98, and you get the Flair retirement thing, which is a whole nother. I can't wait for you to tackle that. But they really never do anything again with how these guys are currently structured. So it is kind of the death of them. Like they never, because they had that run from like late '95 through September, so probably 2 years of this like last true Horseman run, whether it was a mix of Mongo, Benoit, Jarrett, Flair, Arn, Pillman. I guess
Dean
that's
in
it.
there at some point.
Dean was in there as well. Yeah. So that's really it. But 2 years of it. But this is definitely the close of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the last viable faction to go against the NWO, and so it forces them to just fight each other for whatever. But
yeah, back to the.
But
match,
no, I'm glad you brought that
match.
up because that is like the foundation of this whole show, and
And the other part that they showed was like Roddy Piper's like, oh, by the way, so I'm commissioner now, and not only that, he said, this is War Games is going to be the NWO and the Horsemen. And the Halloween Havoc 97 main event is going to be me and Hogan in a cage. And I guarantee we're going to get Sting and Hogan eventually this year. He said all of that in one promo. That's insane.
Yeah.
And I think it's hampered by the Hogan only works 4 pay-per-view dates a year. And we've talked about this before where Hogan was, a huge reason as to why WCW finally turned a profit in 1995, which is arguably one of the worst years across the board. But to get him, you had to acquiesce to whatever he wanted, which I also understand. But it eventually started to hurt them. And, it's tough. They could not get out of it, but they needed Hogan to get that bolt, that, jolt of that boost for the company. But then in the end, it's like, well, it's also going to kill us.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
double-edged sword for sure.
This match was good. I have here just Eddie really starting to thrive as a heel, and even just noticing that the tights are these bottoms from what he normally wore, and then the next month he's in his classic tights and he's full-fledged heel.
Oh yeah.
I love that they have the 2 rings for the whole night. Like I love that. I know World War III is another crazy dynamic because you get 3 of them. Right. All night, but I love that because like anybody can go between the rings. You could there's so much you could do, and I feel like they probably didn't do enough. Like they probably could have done so much more with the 2 rings, especially with some of these higher flying guys. I said It was crazy. Like watching this match, September of '97. Chris Jericho is going to be the hottest thing in wrestling just 2 years later. Eddie Guerrero is going to win a world title. You know, Jericho's going to win the world title 4 years later. Eddie will win it by, '04.
Yeah.
And Jericho's still wrestling now, and Eddie's no longer with us. Like these two guys specifically have such a crazy career arc, both of them, that no one could have ever predicted that. So I found it just fascinating that these guys get the opening match on a show, and yet it's like these are like legends,
two icons,
pro wrestling.
Point, yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Just jerking the curtain.
Yeah, but with WCW, jerking the curtain meant you're probably having the best match. And I also noted there was a really early lion salt, but it wasn't enough, clearly. And Eddie gets the win. So I enjoyed this match quite a bit.
I did too, for sure. I mean, Eddie's, like you said, he's sinking into being a heel, both with the look and there's huge Eddie sucks chants before the bell even rings, so it's clearly working. Just to add on to his obviously crisp in-ring stuff. I will say this though, I watched this on Peacock. WWE should be jailed for dubbing his WWE music into his,
I fully agree.
Just at least create something in-house that kind of sounds like the Even Flow music, but just to be like, oh, he used this 2 years later, we'll just throw it in the Terminator timeline. We'll throw it in the past. It's just deal with Taz too. Come on now.
The worst part was, so, I have Peacock, but I have the ads, and I don't want to sit through that.
Right.
So if you are so inclined, and I don't know how legal or illegal it is, so I will throw it out there. If you have the access to the Internet Archive, people have uploaded a lot of pro wrestling on these, up, to where you could search it and find it. Mm-hmm. You got to really look for specifically what you're looking for. But I found it, and I'm like, all right, here we go. It was a network dub still. Because it had DDP's music, and I'm like, God.
Which I don't mind DDP's network music, honestly. I don't have the nostalgia of his real music, so maybe that helps. But I don't mind it. Just it's not bad. It's not bad.
I don't mind it, but yeah, if you just hear because it's practically self high five. It's so good. The real music is so good.
It is. It's a good one.
There's worse. I will admit, but. How much money could it possibly take? Was it Jimmy Hart to pay him off? Pay someone off to put that on there. What are we doing?
Gotta wonder at this point if it's. Well, I guess Nirvana's not gonna reach out.
Well, Dave Grohl. I mean, just but hey, look, this worked.
Is he watching 1997 WCW pay-per-view? Maybe he is. I don't know.
Well, he probably was pissed at the time.
Yeah,
if he did know, because that's when Foo Fighters was about to start. So.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but but that aside, just arguably the physical primes of both these guys, just everything is so smooth and impactful. Plus, with the WCW ring just naturally being louder, a lot of the things that if you're watching it on mute, you wouldn't even blink an eye at it. But there's a spot where I think Eddie's in an electric chair position on Jericho's shoulders, and Jericho just throws him face first. But the sound it makes, it's a bomb went off.
I've mentioned it before. I've mentioned it on the Shining Wizard show. I'm like, please, everybody, if you have any sort of love of the game, listen to the WCW ring and tell me it's not the most satisfying noise you'll hear. So and the canvases that have the logos, I love that too. The shininess of the Fall Brawl logo.
It's a little loud.
It's I don't care. I love it. Right. I eat it up, man. I love it. And for a guy that, may or may not have paid homage to Fall Brawl's logo with a podcast logo, this was a great show to watch.
Yeah, very true. Very true. But just good suplexes throughout this match. It's as technically crisp as you can get here. Ultimately,
Chris
the finish
Jericho.
comes. What's up?
I said crisp Jericho.
I heard you. I just wanted you to say it again. So Jericho with a double power bomb puts Eddie on the top rope, goes for a superplex, but Eddie counters, kinda, into a cross body right up to the top. Frog splash, bang, bang, boom. New cruiserweight champions. A pretty fun finish there. Crowd was into it. Two guys are finding their groove. I guess Jericho still has a few steps along the way, but yeah, this is a huge improvement from their Super Brawl match.
Yeah, and I don't remember the last time I watched that Super Brawl match, but now that you've brought that up, I have no reason to go out and seek said match. So
it's pretty much this, just quiet. Just very quiet in the back. Not a lot of noise.
The mat doesn't have the Fall Brawl logo plastered all over it either. Got a little Super Brawl one.
I mean, that probably adds at least 2 stars for you, right?
Well, and the Super Brawl 7 pay-per-view is one of the true first shows I ever remember. Just like Piper at Alcatraz, like that whole thing. Like, hey, I visited Alcatraz and I forced the person I was with to take photos of me like exiting and like being nuts like Piper. So, hey.
Did you jet ski back as well?
No, he was on a ferry. He was like standing on that boat. No, he's like haggard. They didn't have a jet ski to give him the thing.
Piper could jet ski in 95 or 6, whatever it was.
97.
No, 7.
No, but it's the beginning of the show. After he comes through and he leaves, he's on the boat.
Oh, that's right, because he didn't eat for a week or whatever. Yeah.
Or he just ate the rats for a week. Yeah, he ate the rust off the bars.
Yeah, explains a lot. But speaking of rust on the bars, these bars had no rust. They were pristine. We got All Reliable here. We got Harlem Heat. Oh, it's Jeff Jarrett. Oh, Jeff Jarrett. You want to talk about Jeff Jarrett on AOL, don't you?
Yeah.
I didn't particularly note it, but because you have the goofy nerd on the laptop. So, Jared, are you prepared for your match tonight? And Jared's just there in his dumb fucking singlet, like, well, has to sit there all seriously, like, well, goddamn, I'll go figure 4 later or whatever.
And I can't tell if like it sounds like he's just smashing the keys, and I don't have a transcript of like the chat. I'm sure it's out there, but I wonder if it's anywhere accurate to what he's saying. And yeah, he even does the ha like as if he's cutting a promo when he's truthfully just answering a question for a message board online. And I'm like, these guys go all in.
Do you think he typed the ha?
I hope that's what I'm saying. I hope that he put it in there like in quotes. But it also just makes me miss like back in the day. Maybe it was because I was just younger, like and just naive and had no idea. The internet wasn't as prevalent, but just like the care and like the levels of how serious all the wrestlers took pro wrestling back then. Like they're going to be in character. You're not going to see like it just comes off more authentic. And like now, even like just watching wrestling, like without with just putting that to the side, that clearly, it's a work, whatever. It just doesn't come off as anything could happen. Like everybody doesn't seem as locked into we're pro wrestlers. This is a pro wrestling company. This is legit.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know. So seeing this little AOL thing, I'm like, man, some guys are locked in.
My favorite is Road Wild 97, where they cut to the Steiner brothers. It's not backstage, but it's like, at a table somewhere outside. Yeah. And they're just like in their singlets, and Ted DiBiase's talking for them, but they're just like among bikers at a computer. It's just, what a visual.
Yeah, I could not imagine they had any sort of how many cords would it have taken to hardwire a computer at Sturgis?
Yeah, I don't know. Hook it up to a bicycle, maybe?
I lost all their power.
Bike. Are motorcycles bicycles still technically? I think they would be, right? Because it's 2 wheels, 2 cycle.
Yeah, but doesn't bicycle imply that you have to pedal it?
Bicycle. I think it means it likes both sexes.
Also, aren't you pronouncing it incorrectly?
Bicycle. Yeah. Get on your bicycle.
Bubber.
But hey, speaking of the Steiners, we got them boys in this next match here. We got All Reliable here. We got the Harlem Heat versus the Steiner brothers. I think they just faced each other either at the last pay-per-view or the pay-per-view before that. So the last one would have been
if it was Road Wild. I'm not sure if it was Road Wild or
There was
not.
Road Wild, and there was Bash at the Beach. I think was after that, or was that before Road Wild?
Bash at the Beach would have been before. It would have been in July.
Yeah. So I don't know, but oh no, Vicious and Delicious faced Harlem Heat, I believe, maybe.
At Road Wild.
Yeah, it all kind of blurs together, but
Yeah.
just a bunch of beefy boys.
Oh yeah, these are two of the greatest WCW tag teams, bar none. So to see them just in a Hoss fight, and this is towards the end of OG Harlem Heat, because like after this, Stevie Ray goes out for a while, gets healed up, and in that time, Booker T becomes a singles star, wins TV titles, and then Stevie Ray joins the NWO because they had nothing else for him, and rest is history.
Yeah. It sure is. Kind of end of the Steiner brothers too, right? Because we're almost we're
Super
getting
Brawl
there.
8.
Yeah.
Coming up.
So I like this match. I always enjoy this, just like you said, a Hoss match. It's just a couple of meatheads just running into each other. It always feels like they don't have a plan, which is a lost art in wrestling, but it worked. Like I mean that in an endearing way. It's very clear that they didn't have spots planned.
That's what I kind of meant with. I know I went off on the AOL thing, but that's the kind of thing I mean, like, hey, we know what the finish is. Let's call it in the ring, and they're just beating the shit out of each other. Like that's all I want. Like that makes it more authentic. Not like, hey, stand here because I have to hit my spot and get my shit in. We're just gonna knock each other's heads off.
Yeah, there's a beauty in making things look a little ugly, but still, doing the wrestling thing. Some fun double team moves in here. We got the Harlem Heat with, I believe they call it the Heat Seeker, the Doomsday Missile Dropkick.
My only note in this match was the Heat Seeker is a crazy double team maneuver because my God, he kicked him so. The negative things that could have happened that didn't, but could happen because of a move like that are endless, and I'm surprised that it went as well as it did.
Yeah, well, it wasn't this move, but old Buffy Bags will figure that out, that a move like this can go bad. But ultimately, a very interesting finish. Steiner's win with a German suplex lariat combination. Feels like a very modern double team. I don't know if that was is that something in their repertoire? I don't know if I've ever seen them. I'm sure they've done this before, but it's not what I associate with them.
Sorry, say that again.
The German suplex lariat. So one of them has a German suplex on the guy, and the other guy comes with a lariat.
I want to say they hit that earlier in the 90s, but not as much. Like, I don't know if they hit that in the WWF run at all.
Because I definitely feel like I've seen Doomsday.
Yeah, that's what messed up Buff.
Yes, it did. But the Steiners get the win, and I guess commentary kind of implies this is like a number one contenders match for the tag titles, which the champions as of right now are Nash and Hall. So more Steiners and NWO on the horizon, I guess.
I can't believe you just called them Nash and Hall.
Yeah. Scott and Kevin.
The only person. Nah, that's fine, but it's Hall and Nash. Nope. Just like Hall and Oates.
Yeah, it's like Christian and Edge, right?
Cage and Cope.
Ew. All right.
Adam and Christ.
Yeah, that's something.
Oh, what killed me was whenever Beth Phoenix came out to save him at the pay-per-view, and it just said Beth. I was like, wow, we have lost the plot here. We can't call her anything. Give her a last name, damn it.
If it's all caps, I like it. Like Walter.
Beth versus Walter they'd kill each other. That would be something.
Oh man. He would if she wants to decrease a cup size, we can make that happen, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens in the future. Sometimes
you talking about matches, for Walter?
He's already lost on too many cups.
I know. That's the kind of that could have been a joke a few years ago, but he has trimmed down to where I can't make fun of the guy. So
I kind of miss Titty Walter, to be honest, but
he was a hoss, the hoss of hosses.
Well, speaking about titties, unless you have any more notes on old Harlem Heat, Steiner
Bros.
No,
I got nothing else. I thought it was a good match, and I like the Steiners' theme song.
The only theme song that I think is better is Ultimo Dragons. You thought I was going to say Alex Wright. Yeah.
I was hopeful you would say Alex Wright.
There's stock Japanese music for every Japanese wrestler that comes out.
We
Crazy.
got the TV title on the line here. We got the champion Alex Wright defending against Ultimo Dragon, but essentially another cruiserweight match. Alex Wright was just the cruiserweight champion a few weeks ago. But yeah, so it's a rematch here. Alex won it from Dragon a few weeks ago on Nitro, and pretty good match here. It felt like a match of two halves. It felt like a very slow first half, and then it really kicked up in the back end here. But ultimately, I had fun with this one. What do you think about it?
Ultimately, I did too. I like that Sonny Ono's finally not a part of this anymore. Like he wasn't out here for this match, so I kind of like babyface, a Jace, Ultimate Dragon, which they both were referring to. Like both that name came up multiple times, like Ultimate or Ultimo. And
So
that might be due
recently...
because they had 4 damn commentators for this match. They had Tanae, Tony, Bobby, and Zabisco. 4 guys on this commentary. And I'm like, someone's going to mess something up. And they did. Zabisco kept saying, the Ultimate Dragon. And Tanae, everybody else is Ultimo. It's insane.
So they recently, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before this on Nitro, they had that video package. I don't know if you remember this, where they basically like, no, it's Ultimo, not Ultimate. Like it was like a vignette for Ultimo Dragon, and he's like, Ultimo means I forget what Ultimo means. It's not final.
I thought means Moonsault Daddy.
Is it final? Ultimo? I don't know. But yeah, it's different than Ultimate.
Final Dragon. That kind of
what
works.
it should have been. You're up, Ultimo Dragon. I support it. But
I just mean that's perfect because it's the American Dragon and he uses Final Countdown.
Oh shit! Are there any other dragons?
Final Dragon.
American Dragon.
Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee.
Ilya Dragunov.
That's sure.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
God damn. You got.
Or when he was just in WWF with the gimmick, he was just the Dragon.
Dragon, these nuts along your face. Dragon. Is that all? There's got to be more dragons. Call in with your favorite dragon, everybody.
There's not another. Super Dragon.
Super Dragon.
Super Dragon.
Oh, he is. I've been watching a lot of him in early PWG. He's a psycho. He's like the only good thing there. But no Super Dragon here. Just Ultimo Dragon against Alex Wright, dancing his way. I love his dance, man. It's fantastic.
Same. Him and Disco Inferno. Now, this is loose because Disco Inferno was not great in the ring, but he was serviceable. Made the most out of their gimmicks. Alex Wright was an amazing wrestler, though. I will give him that. Saddled with this gimmick, or not even saddled with. That's just what he was like. All right, you're a young kid. Just be you, I guess. And like, I don't know. That's all he did. But his wrestling was very good. His drop kick was incredible. I'm sorry. Did I see Alex Wright hit a fucking Styles Clash in this match?
Did he? I think I missed
yes.
That.
I was like, all right, shut the pay-per-view off.
So you're saying AJ Styles? It's just a ripoff of Alex Wright.
Yeah. AW Styles.
AW Styles. Man, that's something. Yeah, I mean, Alex Wright, there's a lot of him, doing various sleeper holds and the classic, foot on the rope deal. Crazy drop. He's a tall piece of business here. This
Very
Alex
tall.
Wright. Of course, you have Ultimo with all of his classic kick combinations and then tiger suplexes, a little sunset bomb off the top rope, a moonsault. But ultimately, Ultimo Dragon goes for the Dragon Sleeper. But Alex Wright counters into a stunner, kind of, sort of.
Yeah,
it almost seems like he was trying
something like that.
And then a German suplex for the win. Alex Wright retains the title.
Yeah, I like this match. I like Alex Wright. I think he got not a bad rap, but just like no one took him that seriously because of his character. And going back, I think a lot of people might, update their stance on that. I don't know. He's very entertaining. He's very good. He's crisp in the ring. He beat Ultimo Dragon. Like I know it's kayfabe, but it's like they thought of him as not enough to beat a guy that world renowned. So like, what do we, who are we kidding here?
I mean, he's
on a pay-per-view. He's, like I said, he was just the cruiserweight champion. Now he's a TV champion. So they obviously see a lot in him, which, I mean, he's young, good looking, sexy, got great legs, shiny, probably tastes good.
Legs.
So yeah, good stuff, good stuff. You know who else is sexy? It's Mean Gene Okerlund. Backstage.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I got him mistaken for Mean Gene Smith.
There's got to be more Genes that are mean out there. Mean Gene. Oh my God, who's fucking Frankenstein? Gene. You know what I'm talking about. Gene. People are screaming at their.
I thought you were going to say
right
there's Gene the werewolf, but that's unrelated.
Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder. You know Gene Wilder, right?
Yeah, I know Gene Wilder.
So he was probably pretty mean. Mean Gene Wilder.
Mean Gene. What other?
What other mean
Gene Simmons?
That's good. Mean Genes.
That's the WCW connection.
This has got to be the first time this has ever been Googled. There are no mean. Oh, it thinks I mean like genes, like you're in your body, like your genes.
Oh my God.
The mean gene. I got the mean gene in me. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyways,
there should be a women's wrestler named Mean Gene.
Mean. Okay, that's. Here we go. Mean.
And she wears like jean shorts, a jean top.
I guarantee you, somebody on the Indies has done that at some point. I'm only getting.
If they haven't, I'm gonna push for that. I think that's a great idea.
I'm gonna become a professional wrestler just so I can be a Mean Gene, just all Gene everywhere. What a time! What a time! But he's here. He's here plugging the hotline here, and that damn NWO just interrupts his segment. They have no respect. They just walk by him in this segment. They go in the locker room. Then they come out of the locker room. They walk by Gene again.
I was going to say, you mentioned how they walk in front of him and ruin it. And I'm like, yeah, then they came right back and did it again.
They don't care. These scoundrels, the NWO. We got to do something about these folks. Gene's like, what's happening? What went on in that room? Let me go check. Sorry, folks. Let me go check behind this door. Opens the door. What the devil? It's Kurt Hennig on the floor, laid out. We're led to believe that the NWO attacked him, which
with one trash can was tipped over. They could have done so much more than what they showed. And then the camera guy is just like right in on him, and I'm like, you get too close, you're gonna catch him like smiling because of how ridiculous this is. Come on now. I don't know. That's all I saw. Like, make it look more believable. Something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Maybe Conan slapped the tequila sunrise on his arm. You know, you don't need weapons when they're just walking weapons. You know what I'm saying?
Josh Alexander wasn't back there.
All right, so we got the next match is Dean Malenko versus Jeff Jarrett. The Iceman.
Hey, 1997 PWI 500 #1, baby.
Hey, man, I don't hate it. He's
hey, it mattered back then. A lot of people were like, damn, this is really important, because like no one gave a shit as much as people do now.
Yeah. Was the PWI always kayfabe?
Yeah.
Because I feel like kayfabe, he shouldn't be #1.
That's why it was weird. It was like, it's kayfabe in regards to success, though, too. So if Dean is incredible in his... It's not that the cruiserweight is less than the heavyweight. They're all equal, but if you're the champion and you always are defending it and you're always winning and you're having great matches...
Nice. U.S. champion.
U.S., like, they'll... Like, wow, you know, so that's where they put that for their criteria. He would be #1,
I guess,
because I agree. He probably wouldn't be. I don't know who would be. I mean, maybe 96 to 90, maybe Austin. Austin had to have been high.
Yeah, I guess
in 97.
Sure.
You talk about the match. I'll find the rankings.
Yeah, please do. But yeah, we got Dean Malenko versus Jeff Jarrett here. So this is pretty much a #1 contenders match for the U.S. title, as I believe Jeff Jarrett just recently lost it to Mongo McMichael. Dean was the champion before that, I believe. Maybe 2 champions before that.
Yeah.
By the way, also, I should note here a note of like a production note that I think I enjoyed in the show.
Okay.
When the people came out for their entrances, they had like the video package for the match in the background, like on the big screen. It was a
Yeah.
little weird. I think I liked it though. Like it just added like a different like ambiance to their entrances.
I tend to agree, and this is not the same, but when you get to, I don't think it happened to Super Brawl 7. When you get to Super Brawl 8, and I think they do it again at 9, it might be in the same venue. The stages for those shows are maybe my favorite, like with the screens. They're like elongated screens that have the name, but it gives such a unique vibe that it's tough to explain. But I'm not sure if they put some of the, the highlights of the feud or whatnot in those. But I agreed. I like that, and I like on the lower third when they'd have like the thing blow up and it's like this person and then this person and it's Fall Brawl. So I like that. You ready for you want the top 10 from 97?
Oh, throw it in me.
Number 10, Chris Benoit. Number 9, Jushin Thunder Liger.
Sure.
Number 8, The Giant. 7, Shinya Hashimoto.
Okay.
Number 6, The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Number 5, Lex Luger.
He was one that came to mind as far as being number 1, but not super
Yeah.
decorated, I guess.
Number 4, DDP.
Okay.
Number 3, Steve Austin.
Right.
Number 2, Mitsuhara Masawa. And number 1, Dean Malenko.
No Brett or Sean on there, huh? Top 10?
Let's see. No, Brett was 20th. Sean was 18.
I guess, yeah.
6 was 21.
Where's Hack Myers on there?
Guess where Jeff Jarrett was? 17, above both of them.
You know what? Because it's what, like July to July or
Yeah,
something?
it's like a certain, yeah.
Because when did he come back to WCW? That was like late 96?
6, I think.
I guess. I feel like he wasn't. I mean, I don't know. He won the U.S. title for a second. I guess he was winning matches.
Hack Myers was ranked 314th in the 1999 PWI 500.
1999.
Yeah.
He's timeless, this Hack Myers, let me tell you.
Timeless Hack Myers.
Was that? I think he was in WCW at some point. Oh, I mean, let me tell you.
You have it?
Of course I do. Right on deck.
Wow,
Right on
now we're talking.
But no Shaw's here. Just the Iceman and Double J. I really enjoyed this match, actually. I was surprised how much I enjoyed this match. Just two, like, solid as hell guys. Really fun counter wrestling, like the whole figure 4 into the small package, and you got, backslides, like all the pin reversals, and you got tiger suplexes and counters to those, and just really good stuff here. What'd you think about this one?
I enjoyed it as well. I was kind of surprised by the finish, to be honest with you. And they were like, well, the winner of this gets a match against Mongo at Halloween Havoc. And then Jeff Jarrett leaves WCW 6 days before Halloween Havoc. So it's actually Alex Wright.
Of course he does.
So
I knew we were getting close. I wasn't sure when exactly he left.
yeah, 6 days beforehand. That's pretty crazy.
Man, it's
Nothing
wild.
like card subject to change.
I ain't going down to Mongo. I'm gonna go be with Tennessee. What was Colonel Parker in WWE? It was like Tennessee Jim or something. I don't know. Tennessee Jim. Tennessee Lee. Yes, the world's greatest entertainer. Like he becomes Jeff Jarrett.
Old Tennessee Jim.
Tennessee Jim rules. That rips. He's the manager of Mean Gene. So.
Oh, now we're talking.
Oh, you're gonna find that at a local armory very soon. Very soon.
I had a question because they brought this up. When did you think, like, pro wrestling companies as a whole, the major ones. No, I don't count ECW because their building couldn't sustain it. But when do you think companies got comfortable having a cage, or in this case, a double cage, suspended above the ring all night? Because they talked about it, and I'm like, man, it literally for the brief second, because we're so used to it, I'm like, do these guys ever think, boy, I really hope it's up there because we are screwed if it comes down.
To this day, I always think about that. Like, I've obviously never been in the ring with the cage, but like,
Sure.
I've been in arenas where the cage is up there. I'm like, oh man, I could just. It hasn't, to my knowledge. But
no, we would know about it because they've done. I mean, there's some great like them. They have to build the cage, like put each wall up.
Yeah,
I've seen. Oh, what was it? Was it Super Brawl 6? One of them is like they lower it and like half of it is like leaning.
I think you're thinking of Halloween Havoc 94 or 95. Sorry, 95. It was the Hogan Flair one. At least that's what I'm thinking of. Whereas
that's 94.
Was it 94? Yeah, it was 94.
Yeah, 95 was the Yeti.
Yes, which is a whole other bag of hammers.
Yeah, that probably is it. But yeah, like so that was like an early one. If you watch back, like the Chamber of Horrors, Havoc 91, the show starts with the match and the cage is just there already. So I assume they had no way of either lifting it up or keeping it to the end. You know, the Elimination Chamber they held above. That's insane.
Right.
Like now, Hell in a Cell, like they keep that up. That's the blue steel cage they assembled, you know?
Yeah.
So I just thought that was like, man, they got this huge double cage up there. I hope they're okay with that.
I figured it out. Thank goodness, and it didn't hinder this match. Old Dino Machino versus Jeff Jarrett.
Oh.
One thing that stuck out to me. I'm surprised how well Dean Malenko resonated as a babyface, given how just like stoic he is. Like he's just a guy in black tights that wrestles, but the crowd loves it, which I think is very. I like
when his music hit, people popped. Like people know, like, yeah, he's undersized, but this dude means a lot of business. Like he does not take any shit, and he's just gonna like submit you to death. Like he's gonna, you're never gonna be able to win, and of course he loses in the match. I say that. Funny enough, though, that these guys are, winner takes on Mongo. I always kind of forget that Mongo won the U.S. title. Mm-hmm. And it was at the last Clash of the Champions, August of 97. Clash 35. Was. Pretty crazy that all of those things happening like that. Like Mongo even won the U.S. title. The fact that the last Clash was August of 97, like, damn. There was never another Clash of the Champions after that. It was such a great either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. They'd have it. Sometimes they'd have it like the week before a pay-per-view.
Right.
So I don't know. I love the Clash of the Champions growing up on TBS.
Yeah, that was the whole Sting with his crow deal. Sent it from the rafters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The NWO was horrified, but I actually really enjoyed the finish here because during this match, Jarrett's working on the leg of Dean. And towards the end, Dean leapfrogs over Jarrett, but his leg buckles as a result of this leg work. And this allows Jarrett to hit a brutal chop block, which I don't know if that was supposed to be like a shot to Mongo, the football player, but
Maybe.
Brutal chop block, figure four, and Dean has to submit. So Dean Malenko submits to Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett versus Mongo. Can't wait for that. That's going to be, oh man, Halloween Havoc. I'm ready. I'm buying my ticket just for that. Just for that.
Yeah, you get Alex Wright instead, and we've been putting him over, so there you go.
I need to put his music on my soundboard. But yeah, good stuff there.
I also want to point out, before we get to the next match, Tony Schiavone just flippantly mentions, quote, the WCW network. And I'm like, oh, why? Wow. Why? When? What? Sign me up. And yet we have the WCW YouTube channel, which is probably as close as we'll ever get, and I'm thrilled that they have it. They've uploaded Fall Brawl 93, 94, and 95 and 98 now, like just in their entirety this month, and or last month rather. I love it, and I think it's only been around since like March or whatever. So we have it like this will be all Halloween Havoc stuff this month. Next month could be a hodgepodge. If they want to go back to Starrcade, they could do it, but they also could do New Blood Rising or World War III or the one and only Battle Bowl pay-per-view. So
Sure.
I'm curious as to what they'll unveil throughout the following months because we're still not even a year into it. And they haven't even done the ECW channel yet.
Man.
It's on its way, though.
I hope so. I hope they throw all the Saturday nights, all the pros on there eventually.
God. I thrive on that stuff. Mindless, kayfabe stuff that doesn't really amount to anything.
Studio wrestling. Oh, suck me. There we go. But we transitioned from that to a weird NWO promo, the classic, pre-taped black and white deal. And it becomes even more clear because it's Nash. It's the crew that's going to be in War Games. It's Kevin Nash, Buff Bagwell, Conan, and Six. And it's just like, Nash is trying, man. He's trying to make something out of this, but it is just a bunch of jabronis surrounding him. Conan always feels like no matter what faction he's in, he always feels out of place somehow.
Again, outside of the Wolfpack, where I thought he was like the most electric guy there.
Sure, yeah.
But in this, he's like talking, and I don't know if he lost his line or missed it, but someone else steps on it every time. He's like trying to get out something. And then at the end, I think he's like bringing up all the members of both teams in the match. And I'm like, wouldn't you just reference the other team? Because you
got the script in front of him. Conan, man, and he's like, When it gets to Wolfpack Conan, I feel like it's a little like his delivery. He's starting to dial it in here.
He's so confident. Yeah, this is so early.
He sounds like a white guy doing an impression of a cholo here. Like it's so cartoonish. They
all just seem. Well, he does when he comes out for War Games. He does say "Westside" for no reason. So, like, I'm like, why did that? What are you talking about?
Well, they're in North Carolina, so that's how you get heat. That's like the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
East versus West.
But Conan developed so much more confidence even within a year of this.
Right.
They could have. I'll tell you that this match could have absolutely used Wolfpack Conan because this was not
K-Dog.
Yeah, K-Dog. Yeah, K-Dog was way better than Conan.
That's what they call me. Know what I'm saying? Eastside to me. From Virginia. So, anyways, we got this next match here. A little bit of a different flavor. We got Mortis and Wrath taking on the Faces of Fear, the team of Meng and the Barbarian.
I always like the Faces of Fear theme song. Like these two guys specifically. Like Meng's, I guess, theme.
Was it just the Dungeon of Doom music?
No, because I don't think the Dungeon of Doom.
It's not really a thing anymore. But I was wondering if they just kept the music because it kind of fits them. What is their music?
Can you play? Do you have that on a soundboard?
Hold on. Faces of Fear music. Let me see here. Bing Bang Boom. WCW.
Because I know what I'm thinking of, but I don't think the original Dungeon of Doom had that.
WCW Ming. Oh yeah, hold on. I'll share it. Actually, I don't know if the sound will carry over. Share screen.
You're the professional.
Bang bang boom.
This is your show.
WCW theme. Bang bang boom.
Oh.
Now I can't hear it. What the devil?
Neither can I.
Oh shoot.
Unmute your tab.
Okay. Wait. Hold on.
What happened?
Cocksucker. Share screen. Boom.
If you want professionalism in your pro wrestling podcast,
there we go. Now it's coming to me. Now I remember. Oh shit. I took you out. It was just me and Meng for a second.
My tongue and death grip clipped me from the stream.
It gets everybody. Let me tell you. All right.
It got 2 people in this show.
Dude, the double tongue
that got a pop. It was a cool visual because they got them all 3 in the shot.
I mean, just a hilarious matchup here. You got Mortal Kombat versus just the Savages, and it's just a beautiful chaos. This match was, I thought.
Mortis Combat.
Mortis Kombat. Come on.
Mortis
now.
got taken out by something, and then Larry Zbyszko immediately quipped like, "Oh, more like rigor mortis."
He's like, he put
a
the
good
rigor
one,
in his
Larry.
mortis.
Yeah, I was like, "All right, cool. There you go, Larry." Because this is bizarre having Larry Zbyszko. We know why he's there, but he never usually did pay-per-views. He did nitros.
Yeah,
So
no
this
Dusty
is-
here either.
Yeah, I know. Which that I kind of would have liked to have heard Dusty going berserk of Flair getting his. He probably would have cheered, maybe. So that probably would have
joined
gone
in. No, he would never join the NWO.
Get
Come
him,
on now.
get him, Kurt. No.
Come on.
Hey,
that was
they
just-
made a figure of that, by the way. A build-a
I
figure
bet.
of Dusty NWO.
Do you have it?
All the deep cuts. No. No.
One day. My favorite parts of this match are probably anytime Ming and Wrath were in the ring with each other. Just the windmill punches in the corner. It felt like a real fight.
I think you get that match at, is it World War III 98?
Ooh, talk dirty to me. I like
I'll
the
look
sound
it
of
up.
that.
Keep going.
We got some fun double team moves from both guys. The classic Faces of Fear backdrop into a power bomb, which the crowd went ape shit for. Wrath and Mortis, in a similar vein, did like a power bomb neck breaker combo. So pretty innovative stuff here. And when you got Canyon in this match as Mortis, of course you're gonna have that innovation.
Actually, you get Wrath versus Glacier. I'm sorry.
In '98, does that feud never fucking end?
And no, dude. November of 98.
Like that was my note here. I was like, finally, Mortis and Wrath are out of the Glacier verse, but apparently not. Apparently not.
Forever, baby.
They're still fighting somewhere, I'm sure. But anyways, there's also a spot here where Mortis has Barbarian set up on the outside with Barbarian's head against the ring post, like on his back. Mortis then chucks the steel steps at it, and the implication is that the stairs crushed his head, but it seems like Tony Schiavone and the entire commentary team like completely missed what that was supposed to be, because it was supposed to be like he crushed his head like a watermelon, like
Yep.
similar to the ending segment, by the way.
I was gonna say the ending segment. They saw that, didn't they?
But that's Tony Schiavone still does that stuff, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Oh, excuse me. Halloween Havoc 98 is Wrath versus Ming, so you will get it.
In a year they're still
Road
doing
Wild,
this.
you get Ming versus Barbarian.
Okay,
Wow.
I like that. Them
Okay.
surrounded by bikes. That's just everything I need. Check, check,
A whole
check.
lot of revving in that. Right.
Bum, 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 bum. But yeah, and then the spot that you brought up, Vandenberg gets on the apron with his staff or whatever to try to distract on behalf of Mortis and Wrath. But Ming grabs him. Tongan death grip to Vandenberg. Mortis comes in with a super kick to try to break this up, but Ming no sells it. He feels no pain. Grabs Mortis by the neck. Double Tongan death grip. DTD. Just a great visual of him just having them both by the throat. But then Wrath from behind with the death sentence. For
Wrong.
the win.
Death
What?
penalty.
Death pet. God damn it! I knew I had it wrong. I knew I had it. I didn't feel confident. It didn't feel good off the tongue. Death sentence is AMW from TNA's music or move.
Losing it.
It's all falling apart. It's all falling apart. But the move sucks, by the way. I was distracted. But it's a shit. It's like a what a full Nelson slam.
Yeah,
Or,
I prefer the
the meltdown. The meltdown rips. It's the best power slam of all time.
I enjoyed the is it a power slam or is it a pump handle slam?
It's a pump handle power slam.
Power slam, yeah. Okay. There was an electric chair superplex that happened here, which was insane. For like the size of these guys.
That's another one.
They
that
do
can
that
go
on
wrong
AEW
so easily.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on here? So this is kind of similar to the Harlem Heat Steiners match of just like these guys are just like, all right, let's just call some crazy stuff in the ring and then we'll go home.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need. All you need, just four strong characters, fun match, It's all Daddy needs. So definitely a standout match in this one. And then we cut to Mean Gene, not me, Gene Okerlund. Mean Gene with the Three Horsemen, Benoit, Mongo, Flair, as Kurt Hennig was taken out. So it's just the three of them. Benoit, kind of an uncharacteristically good promo here from Benoit, I thought, just kind of running down.
This is so funny. I hated it. I thought he sucked.
How dare you? How dare you? Explain yourself. Actually, no, you know what? It was bad, actually, now I'm thinking about it.
He's like stuttering through it, and I'm like, man, I wonder if Mongo can follow up with something better. And I thought he was going to start screaming. And he started talking more monotone, but he finished it by making a Four Horsemen pun, being like, we're going to bring the apocalypse down on you tonight. And I'm like, dude, when did Mongo get these chops? This is unbelievable. Yeah. I thought
you in a cage, baby. Nowhere to run. Mongo's fantastic. But no, Benoit, because he's going over each member of the NWO that they're facing. 6. You're just a number. Like, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, go to 1.
He's 6. That kind of sounds like the number 6 after 5. Conan, you're just a wannabe. Buff.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
I guess I don't know. He's not from the streets.
Come on.
He's white collar Conan is what Benoit suggested.
And then what did he say? Buff? He said you don't have the stuff or something?
He said, Buff. Well, we all know what Buff is about. What?
That exact. Thank you. I'm glad you're rereading it going, he didn't say anything in this promo.
What is he implying? I mean, I could guess, but like.
Yeah, you could guess, but I also feel like that's a lot of gymnastics when he could have just said anything with some bit of context and it would have been fine. He didn't have to go like nuclear for where we could have been thinking of what he's talking about. Right. Like, but he said nothing. So like, I don't know if he was smart enough to have a coherent promo.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe Perfect was the guy that was supposed to talk, but now that he's taken out, Benoit had to like write some stuff really quick. So he was under a time crunch.
His spot.
My spot. I don't know why that's so funny. Yeah. My spot. Anytime anybody says my spot in the real world, I'm just going to have a giggle fit.
I still love Buff going, it would be an honor. With the stupid, the hair. Yeah. Buff with like blonde hair and the stupid hat. Pulled that baseball cap pulled down.
Towel. Keeps falling.
Oh, the towel.
He like tries to do the throw up thing, but he misses. And then he's like, Benoit's like, Nash, well, you've been so many characters, we're not even sure what you're about. Which
so now he's shooting.
Okay, Benoit, you were the Black Tiger or some dumb shit.
And Wild Pegasus.
No, Eddie was Black Tiger. Benoit was Wild Pegasus.
Yeah, but like even so, like I don't know, we're so far away from people thinking he's Diesel or anybody remembering him as Oz. It's like
or Vinny Vegas. Nobody remembers.
Or that. Vinny Vegas. Like no one. So again, I think if you give that same type of promo like script to, I don't know, anybody else, they'd have said the same type of lines, but had way more believability instead of him. It literally sounds like he's just reading. We all know what you're about. When in reality, he probably should have ad-libbed and been like, "We all know what you're about. Come up with something." Like it's bullet points. It's not verbatim. He's just like,
so like Buff. You got no stuff would have been better, right?
How hard is that?
6. You're more like a 5. You know.
Well, he could have said some sort of Four Horsemen thing. The only number that matters in this match is this. You know, like how hard is that?
Right, again, Mongo coming here doing math.
Yeah, but Mongo hitting the apocalypse, bringing it down on you line. I'm like, this man is a genius.
Well, I'll tell you what, because it ends with Flair. And
right. Well, of course, Flair's going to save it no matter what happens.
Oh, reliable. Just has me ready to run through a wall. Ric Flair does.
I like how he briefly started like this, and then he goes like this, and you can hear the crowd just like erupt, like, oh, here's Flair.
We will bleed. We will sweat. Woo! It's just you will pay the price. These old bones.
He could sell you a broken down car that has one more mile on it, but he'll tell you that mile will be the best mile. It'll be a mile to Space Mountain.
He's even like hyping. He's like Mongo, 5-time All-Pro, Super Bowl champion, Benoit, pound for pound best wrestler in the world. I'm like, yeah, you darn tootin', Mr. Ric Flair. I believe you.
We know what he's about.
We know what he's about.
Mongo,
jeez, that's
football.
like that might be the worst thing Benoit's ever done. This promo here,
absolutely the worst thing he's ever done.
At least top 3. But speaking of bad things, that's not what we have next. We have the Giant versus Scott Norton. Ooh.
A lot of beef in this match.
New.
Oh,
I hit a button on my mouse. The NWO is taking over the broadcast.
We're taking over. NWO apron bump. Make it black and white.
Oh man, the rest of the episode's gonna be black and white. I think I'm still recording here. Let's hope so.
This needs to, I want all this in. It has
That's
to
fine.
all be in.
I'll add like
so
the
good.
jerk. You know, the NWO at the beginning of the music.
Oh, well, if you can find a way to clip in the new world order.
We'll find a way.
The biggest pro wrestler in all of the world.
Sweet. Oh man. Where were we? We got Scott Norton here coming out to the B team music, where the new is way more prevalent for some reason. Giant with no music. The Giant.
Yeah,
what do you think of that? What do you think of that choice?
It didn't matter. As soon as he came out, he did the they went crazy.
Oh, everybody in the crowd's doing this.
There's like, I'm like, yes. This is the modern version of the claw.
Who was that? That was what's his dick?
The Von Erichs.
No, there's somebody else.
Texas Tornado. Baron Von Raschke.
Baron Von Raschke. That's what I'm thinking of.
or Baron Von Raschke.
Is that what I said? Oh well, whatever.
You just reversed it, but I love catching people. Because I do it all the time. I botch shit all the time.
I don't say Baron Von Raschke a lot in my daily life, so.
What do you mean? You're the apron bump.
Is that what he did? Is he an apron bumper?
No, I'm just saying you're such a professional podcast about professional wrestling that you should be saying Baron Von Raschke's name quite often.
You know what? He did show up in Ring of Honor. Funny enough, I talked about him not too long ago.
There you go.
I have no excuse. No excuse.
You truly don't.
But Giant versus Scott Norton.
Did you see the laser pointer hit the Giant as he was walking to the ring?
Oh man,
right in his face, and I'm like, dude, if he sees that laser pointer, he's shoving it up your ass.
Oh, he's coming. He's coming. He's moving fast here in '97, so he'll
he is
3 steps. Nothing too long. Thank God it wasn't. It was probably a 4 or 5 minute match if I had to guess.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like just under 6 minutes total.
Got some feats of strength from Scott Norton. Got a stun gun to the Giant, which was fun.
I had that as very, very impressive. I'm like, the Giant, he's fucking huge. He's a massive, massive man. He's not the
Giant.
He's the son of Andre. But the Big Show, like weight gain that we would see later on had not hit yet. But he's still 7 foot. And Scott Norton's a smaller stature guy in comparison, but he's still jacked. So like he's vicious. So to see that happen was very impressive.
He's throwing out a back suplex to the Giant, and then Giant, I guess you can call it a kip up.
This
Seems
was
a bit of a
amazing.
cheat. Describe it for me. I forget.
This is amazing. So he's on the mat. He does the Undertaker hand through the dirt buried alive thing where but it's the choke slam. And he puts his hand up and like waves it around, and they pop for that. Then he grabs the rope. I don't care. He's 7 foot. He can use the rope to nip up. He hits the nip up, hits a drop kick. So you didn't need a rope for that. And then he hits a choke slam, a high choke slam on Norton, and he wins. And the crowd goes berserk for that. So short and sweet, and I loved every second of it. Like, it wasn't as hard hitting. Like, I think if they'd have gave it even more time, I think it probably would have felt dragging. But So this was as good as it was going to get. But man, the Giant and the choke slam and the taunt are immensely over.
Oh, the crowd loves it, man. I mean, we're so like desensitized to it now because it seems like every big guy does a choke slam now.
I know.
But here, man, nobody was doing it like Giant. I mean, Sid had that shitty choke slam that he was doing.
But I prefer him doing the power bomb. Like some of these guys, like Undertaker should stick with the pile driver because his last ride is kind of annoying and not that great. Sid had an amazing power bomb, but he shouldn't have done a choke slam. The Giant should have stuck with a choke slam. All these guys had their own. They all did the same moves, yet I think all of them had one that they did better than the rest, in my opinion.
I think I'm more of a Final Cut guy myself when it comes to Big Show, but I digress. You remember the Final Cut?
No.
This was like was it 06 maybe? 05? He was trying this new move. It was basically the Eye of the Hurricane, if you know what that is. It's like a reverse DDT into like an elbow drop. Like kind of like one of those situations. It didn't last too long.
Yeah, but who would have? You know, it's a great idea.
He tried a couple because it feels like he like was trying to get away from the choke slam because he did like the alley oop.
He did the knockout punch,
the Cobra Clutch.
Did he? What was his finisher when he had those? I like. It wasn't on purpose for me to say this, but a banger with Sheamus back at Hell in a Cell 2012. Was the knockout punch then?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. I'm getting that confused with maybe Mark Henry around the same time hitting the World's Strongest Slam. Because that was the Haas era, for lack of a better term, for WWE. Those guys kind of led the charge there.
The best work of either of those guys' career, those three you just named, plus Daniel Bryan in the mix. What a time.
I know. Wow.
But... anyways, Giant gets the win here. Again, like you said, short and sweet, just here to be like, hey, it's the Giant. Oh, that's cool. All right, next match. Shifting us to the co-main event, we got the tag team match, a no DQ tag team match. We got the team of DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and Lex Luger versus Macho Man Randy Savage and Scott Hall. We are fresh off. I just saw this clip. The world's most
I'm glad. I was
yeah.
just gonna send it to you and be like, "Hey, you got to bring this up," because I remember seeing this clip a couple weeks ago, and I called it authentic because like they are awkward, but like I liked it because they didn't know what to do.
The hug,
yeah, whatever the hell
around the world or whatever. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge.
They played it in the Titantron.
Yes, because that was like the climax. It was like. They had been accidentally hitting each other with their finishers, which, like, DDP I can kind of understand, but Lex Luger, I accidentally put you on my shoulder. Gave you the
I'm so sorry I accidentally racked you. I'm really sorry.
Oh, man. But they had some mistrust, but then they eventually reconciled, and it was like a handshake, but they, like, both tried to pull each other, so they, like, went, like...
They absolutely called it in the ring.
The hug.
Yeah.
They didn't
Let's just hug.
that.
And then they never, they had no idea what real people look like hugging because they're just two meathead wrestlers. Yeah. Well, one's a meathead, one's the people's champion, but
the real people's champion. You're not wrong. So I believe, if memory serves me right, DDP and Luger were supposed to be in the War Games match originally.
And then Piper just said, "You know what? We're doing the Horsemen instead."
Oh, let me tell you something. I think I'm gonna take you out of the match. Or however he sounds.
It's pretty good.
Thanks. Can't do that for long. That hurts. That hurts to talk like that.
I bet.
So they were pulled out, and then Randy and Scott Hall were also taken out. So now we just have a separated tag team match between these two teams. Fun match here. I think the story here is really the finish. But as far as the match itself, I mean, four killers in there. I liked it.
Yeah, so here's Juice's detailed notes for a 10-minute match. DDP's dubbed music, Lex Luger's real music. Love the and I eat that up. I love that. DDP hit not really a Styles Clash. I called it more of a neutralizer on Scott Hall.
The pancake.
Sure.
I think that was his finish before the Diamond Cutter, if I remember. Maybe it wasn't his finish. He's been using that for a while at this point, though.
So that was interesting. Go back and watch the Alex Wright match. He hits a Styles Clash, I'm telling you. Scott Hall hit a suck it to the referee in this.
Yes.
And the DX had only been around for like 2 months doing the crotch chop.
Well, no.
And
so
yet,
at this point, they are not even DX yet. They are like together as a group, but they have not formally introduced the. Yeah.
But they had crotch chop though.
I don't think Triple H has. I think Shawn has. I'll have to review the tape.
That's all. I'm just saying, someone of those guys, like the group that would eventually be DX, had done the crotch chop before. But all I'm saying is Scott Hall does it here, and it immediately was cooler than anybody that had done it previously in DX.
Oh,
like he literally was oozing machismo. He was so much cooler, just like naturally cool. It was unbelievable to see that. The shirt that Larry Zbyszko's wearing, that nitro like polo multicolored thing, you can find one on eBay if you look hard enough. You go through the right channels. So I like that, which of course that's why he was brought down to do commentary, was purely for this spot to set up the rest of the year with him and Scott Hall. And the final spot, which was fun, and it got a huge pop. Even so, it took forever to get it set up. Larry Zbyszko's standing on the outside. Am I going to get in the ring? Or am I not going to get in the ring? Am I going to get in the ring? And then you see little Luger like climbing up through the middle of the rings. On the other side, you see DDP and Savage just kind of like just wasting time. Who those two are about to have their third of their trilogy the next month. And then, get to the finish. But it just, I'm like, man, I know what the finish is going to be, but I did not realize it took them that long to get there. Yet the fans popped, so what the hell do I know?
Yeah, it was... I have some issues with the finish, but I will say in this match, I do appreciate them using both rings in this match, how they're first of all, Scott Hall just stomping Luger in between the ring, just like stuffing him in between the rings.
Love it.
Sensational. And then Macho and Scott Hall are like playing catch with DDP, throwing him from one ring to the other. Hall clocks the ref for no reason. Then another ref comes out. Hall knocks him out. And then this is when Larry Zbyszko drops the headset. And as soon as he drops the headset, the crowd erupts. So the crowd's into the living legend for whatever reason.
Because he's a living legend. Excuse you.
I guess. I mean, it's just right in front of me. Maybe I really should just pay attention. Larry gets in the ring, or kind of. He gets on the apron. He's like you said. He's like in between the ropes. Am I in? Am I out? Am I in? Gets in the ring, shoves Scott Hall. Luger rolls him up. Larry Zbyszko makes the count. Which, does he have his referee's license?
If he does, it's going to be revoked. However, I will say I'll take a fast count over whatever the hell Nick Patrick would have done in that situation.
I don't mind the fast count. I like, who gives it, like, I do like the line, because I think it was Tony said it. He's like, well, they make their own rules, we'll make ours. So that kind of tied it together in a way which I appreciated. But
that I like. Yeah, let's. The NWO is running roughshod. Screw them over. Who cares if you do something dirty? I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really didn't have any problem with that.
That being said, I think I liked how it played out.
Well, good. Look at us.
Look at us
finally agreeing on something.
Growing.
That's right.
Be a fun match here. I guess more Larry and Scott Hall on the horizon, I suppose, after this.
Oh yeah. And those two have a history in the AWA, so that's why it was like Larry Zbyszko's trash and Scott Hall in commentary. He's one of the most overrated wrestlers, and I'm like, these guys love ribbing on each other. This is incredible.
So that's a bit of context that I didn't really think about. So that kind of, because it felt kind of a random like of course NWO would like kick him off of commentary, and Larry's like pissed off. I thought that was the sole source of it, but the fact that they have AWA history makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, the more you know.
The more you know, or the war. Speaking of war,
if Dusty was on commentary, it'd be Wall. Second of all, it's Wall. Halloween Havoc had a commercial with Randy Savage being involved, and Savage being a part of the quote NWO team, yet he isn't really NWO at this point. Is he?
Savage?
Is he not? Yeah, because
Savage is.
Okay, because I know the previous Halloween Havoc he hadn't been, and in this, this one, the promo for this Havoc kind of comes off like he's just regular Macho Man. So it was kind of weird to me that it wasn't obviously just an NWO. Because seeing an NWO character promote a show, like Savage has the charisma to promote the show regardless, but he's a heel doing it, and it just like Hogan wouldn't have done a show like a promo like that. You know what I'm saying? They would have just done a generic hype thing. But I did want to mention, for all the times that I and a lot of other people had said Starrcade was the WCW's equivalent of WrestleMania, I brought up 83 weeks before, and I'll bring it up again. Eric Bischoff has said numerous times on that show to Conrad that Halloween Havoc felt more of the tentpole event. And then when I look at some of the matches that have happened at Halloween Havoc, these are 4 separate years. Vader and Cactus Jack, Texas Death Match, revered by everybody. Flair Hogan in a steel cage, great. Ray and Eddie next month. And then Goldberg and DDP. Goldberg's arguable greatest match he ever had. Halloween Havoc at 98. For a show that, people may look at as just a gimmicky show, which if you look at all the WCW pay-per-views, there's a gimmick to most of them, if not all of them. Halloween Havoc had some of the biggest and best matches that they ever offered. And I just bring that up to say, like, Halloween Havoc commercial here, and that brings up arguably the greatest match WCW ever put on with Ray and Eddie Guerrero. So,
right.
Pretty crazy stuff.
Well, Starrcade gave us Hogan versus the Butcher. So,
and Hogan versus Sting.
Right. See, I guess that is a match that happens, huh? I suppose.
Yeah. Starrcade 95 was okay. And Piper Hogan 96 was okay.
What was the one with all with the Japanese? It was like
that was 95, but the main event was a triangle match between Flair, Sting, and Luger. Then the winner faces Savage, and Flair bleeds like half of his body out and still wins the match.
What happened in 96? I'm blanking on
Piper and Hogan. We did that.
Did we?
Remember with the fan that ran into the ring, and it was the same fan that that Sting interacted with. Love that clip.
Because I remember, was the Super Brawl where Piper beat Hogan?
No, he beat him at Starrcade, but it was non-title. Because of course it was.
Oh, I'll take your word for it. Interesting.
Yeah, Sleeper. He made him pass out.
Yeah. I remember I used to have my shows mixed up, but
fair enough.
I think the NWO has their members mixed up because the people representing the NWO in the main event, the War Games match, we got Buff Bagwell, Conan, Six, and Kevin Nash.
Speaking of Buff, did you hear what Michael Buffer referred to these guys as?
I missed it. What did he say?
I believe it was a combination of the NWO Wrecking Crew and then additionally now ready for primetime players. And I'm like, who paid them to say that? I said you should have just called them the B team and just got it over with.
Michael Buffer fucking stinks. I've had enough.
Well, wait, whoa. First of all, this is a pre-ordered hatred. You already don't like him.
This Buffer does not have the stuffer.
But what if he wasn't... What if he didn't come up with those lines? I don't think he came up with those lines. He came up with not Hulkamania.
He came up with those lines. No, this is all from the mind of Buffer.
Brett,
here.
the Hitman, Clark. Yeah, Buffer's had some hiccups, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't know who would have come up with those nicknames for NWO like that. Because it almost seems deliberately like we can't call them just the NWO because they suck.
I don't need you to add the garnish to the intros. Just say their names. Oh, this man in black tights with white trim. He's an 87-year whatever. He's. I don't know, but it's. Throw Michael Buffer in this War Games match. Have him bleed. Although I don't think anybody bled in this match. Am I crazy?
No, Flair got halfway decapitated and he didn't even bleed. And you know how hard that is for Flair to not bleed.
Yeah, he loves bleeding.
But go ahead, continue.
No, I mean, it was the Horsemen, obviously. Flair, Steve Mongo McMichael, Chris Benoit and Kurt Hennig, if he can make it. There's no replacement. It's just if he can make it, if he's fine, he's fine. He's good to go. So otherwise, it'll just be a handicap match. I will say though, I like older War Games matches for a couple of reasons. One, I like the very small cage. It's very suffocating, which I feel like is the purpose of like the old Hell in a Cells too. Like it feels like you're locked into a place.
There's a roof though too. That gives a lot of that, and I know why they don't have a roof now. But can we sacrifice having crazy spots?
EO needs to do the trash can spot. Oh.
Well, they also did a lot of men's spots though, with like the Ciampa and Adam Cole and
dumb Bronson Reed exploding his ankle. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that, and I know why they do it, but could they not just one time have? You can have a roof and it not be dangerous where Brian Pillman gets broken in half. Like you can have a raised roof, but a roof nevertheless. That at least gives it something.
Can we just have some goddamn blood? How you have a cage match and no blood? Like these, there was none in this match, which kind of irked me. But
you think ESPN will ever allow that? Because Peacock, I don't know. Well, they will still have the gloves and the protocol, but I wonder what platform would be. Because has Netflix had some blood?
I mean, Netflix has it all. I mean,
Wait
they have murder, they have rape.
They had who was it? Was it Bad Blood? What, there was a pay-per-view or PLE recently. No, right, recently. Was it McIntyre and Punk? One of those matches had a lot of blood, and I can't recall. Oh, and Gunther bled at SummerSlam, did he not? Against Punk?
Yeah. I almost feel like it's more of like an internal thing with WWE. Like, we don't want to... It's like a health thing, maybe? I don't know.
It's so much more dramatic, man. And it's on the flip side. Like, AEW does it too much.
Right. It's a happy
medium. Got to be a fine medium there, yeah.
Yeah.
Or WCW Fall Brawl, where they don't do it at all.
Well, another thing I like about these older War Games matches is that they're more succinct. Like, nowadays, it's an hour long. And so here, the first period, which, the first two guys that are fighting each other, it's a 5-minute period, and then the rest are 2 minutes. So this whole match was probably like, what, 20, 25 minutes, something like that?
I'm looking at the times, and I'm like, we got like 7 minutes to go, and like Hennig isn't even in the match yet. Like this, they're going off the air in less than 10 minutes, and yet they're fully ensconced in this match. It was pretty crazy to look at.
So yeah, I like the pace of this match. It didn't drag too long. It starts out with Benoit versus Buff, which we all know what he's about. And
oh my God, the two that start, we have that. Benoit gets in the cage. I'm gonna find out what you're about, Buff.
Oh, I think he found out eventually. I do like that Benoit goes for his headbutt, but he can barely because the cage is so low. He has to like torpedo down into the ring.
Oh my God.
Also, I will note there's a lot of "We want Sting" chants. Do you think there was? Do you think people were thinking he was going to be like the new fourth guy?
Not even that. I thought though that if Sting would have just saved the day, Hennig could turn. Right. They could do all of it. Uncensored 97. Have him come down. I'm not going to say you have to have him come through the ring like Warrior, like they had the trapdoor, which ruined Bulldog's career. But like have him come down from the rafters and have like a hole like you can make through the cage or something, and have him. How nuts would that be if they're beating him down in the one cage with the handcuffs in the second ring? He drops from the ceiling through and then lands on the cage. How sick ass visual
the cage up.
Yeah, but he could rip the top of because they could have gimmicked the top of that one cage because nothing else happened.
Put his harness, put his hook, like take it off of him, put it on the roof, lifts the whole roof up. He dives in the cage.
We'll get into that in a moment when I talk about some of the notes I had about this. But Sting could have come through there, and then it's 1-on-4, but he's got the bat, and he could have taken out every single one of those guys. Because I even have here, Nash is so clearly the biggest star of the four guys. Like, it's not even close. Six has the most name value out of the rest of them, and yet he's not a main guy. He was the sixth guy in the NWO, and yet he's in this match. The other two guys are
just a number
lower than that. Yeah, they're 7 and 8, or 10 and 11. They're not the first 4, and they're definitely not the 4 Horsemen, or in this case, the 3 Horsemen.
Or maybe it is 4 because, the match progresses. Actually, before we get there, the coin toss business. Like, what are we doing?
What do you mean?
So modern war games matches, people are familiar that somebody has the advantage because it's alternating people that come in one after the other.
Yeah.
Usually it's done by like a match on the TV leading up to this.
Well,
Here,
usually now.
Yeah, no, usually now. But I'm fine. You know what? I'm fine with a coin toss. How about let us see it? You know what I mean?
No.
How about you just...
I like that it's like, let's do the coin toss. They don't even have to show me that they have a coin. And then you just go, the heels get the advantage, and everybody just, again? I love it. Because it's a trope. It never worked out for the baby faces, and that was exactly the first part of the heat for the match.
Yeah.
And you all, like, as the years went on, you're like, maybe one of these years they'll get it. And they never got it. So I liked it. Can't tell me twice.
Like Tony Schiavone is like, are they doing the coin toss? I think they might be doing the because you kind of like vaguely see it in the background. It's like, I'm getting word that the NWO won it. All right, it's like not even. It's just in the background, like kind of.
Because it's inconsequential. Come on.
I guess, but the details matter. Juice. Oh,
it's man. WCW.
Or have 2 people come in at once, one from each team. Have the 2 guys that are entering fight.
I can't
to get
believe that your biggest complaint this whole show has been the fucking coin flip.
I hate
I
a coin
flip. The coin flip.
It's not legit. I'm
not
starting
legit.
to think. I'm starting to think it's rigged. I'm starting to think this is all predetermined or something.
Are the Royal Rumble balls actually picked in order?
We watched them pick it. We saw Ric Flair pick his ball, and then Eddie stole it.
Oh yeah.
Triple H is like, "Can you pick my ball?" Torrie Wilson. I love a ball. That's what they should have done. They should have done a ball pick to see who gets in this ring first.
You have to watch. Well, I guess, Starrcade 91, 92, and Battle Bowl 93, and just watch that. Because Battle Bowl 93 specifically, they just got a drum of names that they're like picking through.
Love a drum.
And Starrcade 91, they do it as well. And it's like, they could be working us. They're just picking out stuff and saying names. Like, I don't know. But like, to your point, at least they're showing you something. But that's like, it's like cartoony when they do it. So, if you ever want to dive back into older shows,
you might have sold me with the drum of balls. I'll tell you, that's how you get me. That's how you lure me in. But the match is progressing, and it's a War Games match. It's just kind of a schmozzy brawl, whatever. Yep. Nash gets in the ring. He side slams Flair. He rams Benoit into the cage. They gang up on Mongo because the Horsemen are kind of controlling the early part of the match, even though they don't have the advantage. The NWO, when you know it, once the star of the NWO gets in the ring is when it turns into their favor. And then the last person in, Kurt Hennig, he comes out in a sling. That Tequila Sunrise really did a number on him. That singular trash can really injured the arm of Mr. Perfect here. He gets in the ring. He's like, "Oh, I'm good, Flair. I'm good." Gets in the ring, rips off the sling. There's handcuffs in the sling, and then he hits Mongo, and then Benoit and Flair turned on the Horsemen. All right, and then the match ends.
He cracks Mongo. It's great.
This is what I was talking about, like how like modern wrestling, it's like we're gonna focus on the moment, the moment the turn happens. We're gonna see Cena blow Cody Rhodes. We're gonna see it. This one is just like, oh, is he hitting Mongo? I guess he is hitting Mongo, isn't he? Oh, geez. It kind of progresses, which you could argue that adds a bit of realism to it.
That's what I was gonna say. It happens so quick, but you could the fans immediately get it, and it's like they had shock. I had shock and disbelief. I actually got chills whenever I could hear them like realizing, because they know what I had told you from the beginning of like they are going to try to kill the Horsemen where they are loved the most. And they're like, no. Why? Because they bought tickets to watch the Horsemen triumph over the NWO. And it's so good. Like, the angle is so much better than everything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what this whole match is. It's what it builds to. Obviously, it's the finish, but I think ultimately that made this match a success because it was a very, nitpicky production notes aside, it was a very good, he has a couple of handcuffs in his slings. He clocks Mongo, clocks Benoit, and everybody gangs up on Flair as they handcuff Mongo and Benoit to the cage, and they have to watch Flair get beat down. Benoit is literally like monkeying up the cage,
It's
insane,
dude. So I want to just progress through some of this before I hand it back to you. Just my notes on this match, and I mentioned this to you before, that Benoit makes everything look so real. Every single thing. Him coming, he started off War Games. That's the last guy I would want to start War Games against if I'm Buff Bagwell. I'm like, God damn it. This is Bagwell's, I believe, first ever main event. Good luck working with Chris Benoit, pal, in a cage. I said we want Sting chance. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I think I brought this up to you before. I love hearing the commentators being so biased towards the Horsemen WCW team, them rooting them on. I think probably during Uncensored 97 is when I brought that up to you, but like rooting them on and like anything the NWO does, if they put the NWO over, it's like, it's in a way of like, oh, Kevin Nash is in, you better watch out now. Like, here we go. It's going to get real serious. So I love that. Mongo hitting, like, he did the gorilla press slam with 6 into the top of the cage, which I thought was pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
They popped for that. Hennig just like casually walking out before Flair went in. I would have rather it been like, I think was it last year at Fall Brawl when the fake Sting came out. They didn't know who was coming out. Oh, and it's Sting. And if they had, all right, Flair gets in, they're wrestling. All right, here comes the 4th guy. I guess he's not going to be there. Then you probably get a pop when he comes out with the sling and he's selling it a little bit more than him just walking out there. And then he turns. I think would have built a little bit more there. Flair, as soon as he gets in, he's so revered by it's just like in the promo. As soon as he gets in, everybody loves it. Everybody's so hooked. It's unbelievable. Nash gets in, sidewalk slam to Flair, practically put him through the ring. Crowd pop for that. He looked like he almost put Benoit through the cage when he like body slammed him through the side of it. I'm like, dude, what is happening? Not sure if I brought this up to you before, but Buff Bagwell loves having a camera in the ring where he can just talk to the camera and talk to the camera and talk to the... I'm like, shut the hell up.
I'm so great. Look at me. I'm Buff.
But if he's the only one really doing that, and if that's the case, that's heat and it's working. But I'll just leave it at that. Like I said, the shock and disbelief was nuts when it happened so quick, but the realization from the crowd of like, no, like that's no.
Yeah.
That plays the same as the buildup of Cena. Actually, it's the Cena frown, of like immediately, but it happened so quick. WWE is like planned cinema. This is more authentic cinema of like, this is actually how it would go. He had to turn on him quickly. You got 3 other killers in the ring. What are you going to do? So you brought up when I said Sting. If Sting would have come down, it would have been a top tier WCW moment. And you're like, he could have lifted the cage back up in the harness. Tony and Bobby are sitting there talking actively about, oh, the Horsemen they're handcuffed to the cage. And you know what happens after the match? They're going to raise the cage. It's going to pull their arm out of their bodies. And I'm like, we are so entrenched in kayfabe. I'm not sure they realize this is a scripted event. It was unbelievable. Without a shadow of any doubt at all, they're talking about that. And I'm like, Yeah, you're right. And then Benoit is like doing everything. He does
Feet
that
on the
monkey,
walls, pulling.
unbelievable,
Yeah.
and like it had to be hurting. I think all three of the guys had wrist tape, but as if that wouldn't hurt still, because they were real cuffs, I'm sure.
Gotta save his boy.
They did the jackknife to Flair and had to make sure he cleared the roof and like helped him clear it and then dropped him,
Right.
which was kind of nuts. Because I'm like, Flair ain't Pillman. He can't really survive that. Benoit spit on Nash, spit on Bagwell, and then said, "Bite me." He was a madman. And then the last thing, I brought it up earlier. Those two fans in the front row, just rewatch Flair getting his head slammed into the cage again. And you could see these guys, they're like Southern guys. One guy's a mullet, and they're just so mad that this is happening to God. Their God is about to just be killed in front of them by the NWO and a turncoat guy. And it happens, and the heat is all there. The show goes off the air, and Kevin Nash says it on microphone. It's the death of the Horsemen in their own backyard.
Yep. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which amplifies it all. And yeah, your point on how this kind of leans into the real, story of the NWO pushing the Horsemen out, overtaking them as the top faction. So that added layer to it. Like you said, the groundswell of the crowd realizing that, oh man, the Horsemen are, like, you could see them, like, you could hear them seeing the Horsemen die in front of their eyes, essentially.
And if you notice, there's way more NWO shirts in the crowd than there are Four Horsemen shirts. It truly is changing, even if the NWO are the bad guys, because the Horsemen were bad guys and people still love them too back in the day.
Yeah. And also, we're fresh off of that emotional Arn retirement. So every variable just made this moment so significant. I don't know how predictable. I don't know if people were like, oh yeah, Mr. Perfect, he's turning on the Horsemen. But I don't know. To me, I was looking at the Horsemen. I was like, this could be a group that you could go forward with, but guess not.
Fooled you.
But yes, the way, like you mentioned, the finish. Because Benoit and Mongo are handcuffed, so it's just Flair fighting for himself against the 5 now, NWO guys. Flair's head is set up in the door. Nash, with the mic in his hand, says, "You guys better surrender or he's getting guillotines," which is, man, that is such a violent way to put it. And then Mongo yells into the mic, "Stop it," which I guess suggests a surrender.
Yep. You hear the bell ring.
I feel like he should have said, "I surrender" or "I quit," but again, a little nitpicky. Stop it, baby.
They didn't have a coin flip. The whole thing's ruined.
It's all. I mean, yeah, it's really all a moot point after that coin flip business. But so Mongo yells, "Stop it!" But Perfect still smashes Flair. He smashes his head with the door.
Like the bar of the door.
Oh, it was
the worst part of the door. I think I could see how it's the angle. It's the way it's shot.
It was a good angle, yeah.
But the way it's shot, it looks like you could have really hurt or concussed him if you hit him with the actual bar of that door. So, like, I get that. It was a perfectly shot angle. Great angle of the angle.
Oh, Kurt Angle. So we got, Also, so that brings the match to a close. It was a fine match. A really good angle is pretty much the story here.
Yeah.
So the NWO shenanigans continue. We continue to build on the NWO. Although we lost Bubba. He's Ray Trailer now. I don't know if VK Wall Street is still around. I don't think he is. But
oh my God.
We're replacing them with more significant guys, I guess.
The NWO B team.
I mean, C team. Good Lord. One thing also, before we wrap this up here, the first ever Hell in a Cell match is next month. Do you think the Hell in a Cell was a response to War Games?
That's a good question.
It's a very similar structure. It's one
it
ring. It's
is.
a one ring War Games, basically.
It is, but you wonder. I don't know because why didn't they do it in 96 or 95? Like, why didn't they do it before? You know?
Yeah.
When did the idea get conceived? And I hate to be like, well, I'd love to see someone talk about the how it got conceived, but then I also realize who would be telling us that story, and it's probably all bullshit. So like, I couldn't really believe that. Like only the person that probably would have the real answers is like Vince. Of like,
Right.
This is when we thought of this idea. Because I doubt the idea was formed. Maybe there is a show about it because there's on the network or something.
There has to be. Yeah, I think there is actually.
It might be on the YouTube because I think it's about the story of Kane because that's how Kane debuted. But I think they talk about the Hell in a Cell, so I have to do some digging because maybe the idea how you presented it made me think like, oh, September they have War Games, and now I'm thinking, wow, let's just do Hell in a Cell. I highly doubt that they constructed all that and the idea and all that within a month.
Right.
You know,
but maybe it's something they've thought of in like previous years and
when
then like
should
gradually
we do it?
put it together. Yeah.
Well, you also needed the right people to do it, and Undertaker and Shawn was the perfect two people to do it. What's also crazy is that's a week after Halloween, or that's the same month, like with Halloween Havoc. Like those two moments had like Eddie and Ray, and then the first Hell in a Cell, all happening in such a quick span is like nuts.
So I did a quick Google on how the Hell in a Cell was conceived. You know who they give credit to?
Bruce Pritchard.
It's like a group of guys, but most notably one guy, not Bruce Pritchard.
Brian Alvarez? Or not Brian Alvarez.
No, it's not a Brian.
Oh. You gonna tell me?
Jeez! It's I was gonna let you guess, but Jim Cornette. Allegedly, according to Google AI. Well, so take that for what it's worth. But
that makes a lot of sense though, because he was he saw War Games. He was in a few of those shark cage things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he was like, hey, War Games is a thing, but what if we just did one big one? You know, I want to say it's on, it's not Unreal, but it'd be Untold. That might be.
Yeah. So, and also WWE they were still doing like the blue steel cage at this point. Like a couple of months before this was the SummerSlam match between Triple H.
Yeah.
And Mankind. So the Hell in a Cell actually came before the modern steel cage match, which apparently is a Memphis style cage. So I think it was like an amalgamation of like different people and their ideas, and so I don't know. It's probably worth researching for sure.
Were you looking that up on Wikipedia?
I was on Google.
Okay, because the Wikipedia article says the original concept was created by Jim Cornette. He described it as a combination of the cage surrounding the majority of the ring. The design, he stated, was popular in Memphis, and the cage used in both NWA and WCW for War Games with the roof. Of course, on an October 2015 video podcast, Vince Russo said Cornette probably did come up with the concept, but the name Hell in a Cell came from Russo.
That checks out.
And WWE credits the match as being based on the last Battle of Atlanta, which was October 23rd, 1983. Tommy Rich versus Buzz Sawyer, which a steel cage that had a roof on it. So I have to check that out. I think it is on, or it was on the network. I'd have to check that out. But a steel cage with a roof, 1983. That would make a lot of sense if that's probably the first time anybody had a roof on it like that.
Yeah. I think
that's an interesting question.
Yeah, I think there is like a Hell in a Cell DVD, like a standalone DVD. I think I remember.
There is. I've got it. With all the matches on it up to that point. Yeah, I'll have to watch it to go through. Oh, it's probably on Peacock. It's probably on the network.
It could
be. The documentary portion, I would wager.
It's probably just fucking The Rock being there like, so I was there in 83.
So then I told Jim Cornette and Vince Russo it should be called Hell in a Cell.
And I was just like, I heard that and I was like, wait a minute. What if we just put a roof on this bad boy? And then magic happened.
And then I said, what if we call the show Bad Blood?
Oh, but with 2 Ds. Come on. Vision. The vision is there. The vision is clear. But that brings old Fall Brawl 97 to a close there. JS, what are you gonna give a grade 0 to 100? What do you think you'll throw at this bad boy?
Wow, to 100.
Grade school scale.
My initial thoughts, I'll tell you, my initial thoughts were like high 60s, maybe 70. But based on the angle and how dramatic it was, I'm going to give it a 75. I think that
Sure.
the angle was so memorable, specifically to me, and you only asked me. Well, as a youth, I remember the first like pay-per-view I could vividly remember like being ready to watch and like was Road Wild 98. I talked about this with someone recently. I just remember like them promoting I think it was Travis Tritt concert at the show. It was a Saturday night in August before I had to go to school the next month. I'm like, this is like the last bit of summer. Like, it was so cool. A Saturday night show. Like, it was so unique because I could stay up for it. But I remember them showing Flair getting his head slammed in this cage the fall previous on Nitro. So as something that really stuck in my mind is probably one of the first angles I ever recall and really sticking with me. I think that's going to add a lot of value, and then rewatching it confirm that. So I'm gonna say a staunch 75.
I like that. I was thinking something similar. It was just a good, easy watch. Dragged at some points, but I think ultimately there's a lot more good than bad. Good angles. Alex Wright rotating his hips. That's really all you can ask for from a wrestling program. That's enough. I think there was enough juice squeezed out of this show. I don't know if I used that right, but Juice Springsteen, appreciate you hopping on once again. Always a hoot and a holler. Where can everybody stick their straw inside of you and suck out all of your juices?
If there's any left after this show, we've almost hit the 2-hour mark. Find me on Twitter at Juicy Steen. So that's where I argue with people, talk about WCW, counteract points that I don't agree with, and a lot more. Maybe I'll get a meme that pops off every now and again. Kyle knows a little bit about that. He's had some massive fun meme tweets go off. You gotta mute those mentions sometimes because you get some maniacs in the comments. But
Mimi Jean.
Yeah, so that's what they call them. But that's where you can find me, and then you can listen to the Juice Box anywhere where you find podcasts. Search the Juice Box with Juice Springsteen. Last week, I sat down with it's Conrad Thompson, and we had a great interview. It was the SIP series, that's where I talk to people that have had wrestling in their lives for 1 second or their whole life or whatever. And Conrad has done a lot. He kind of brought Tony Schiavone back into pro wrestling. He got the podcast game elevated to a level that Colt Cabana began with, but I mean, something to wrestle with. Grilling JR, 83 weeks. Like, how many of these damn shows? And he married into the Flair family. So he's got a lot to talk about. And we talked about a lot of it. So very cool to check that out if you can, audio and video at Juicy Steen on YouTube. But check out the Juice Box wherever you get a chance. And I always appreciate coming into the Apron Bumps studio here, talking to Kyle. This is always one of my favorites because as much as I love hosting shows and BSing alike with other people, coming into these shows with just a lot of notes and just having to watch the show for homework is a great feeling. So love coming in here.
To twist your arm to make you watch old school WCW. So
Hell
I appreciate
no,
you
I'm always
through
in.
it.
Yeah, right. I know.
Well, that what other juice puns are there? I feel like I've used them all already with you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we've had so many, so many shows. I think we've done at least 2 WCW pay-per-views, an ECW show, did that WWF show, did that unearthed WCW show. We did Nitro 100.
Yes.
So we've done quite a bit. I had you on for the SIP series. I've had you on to do predictions of current wrestling.
Hey,
so,
a little WrestlePalooza. If you haven't watched WrestlePalooza yet, go check out those predictions. Or watch it anywhere, or listen to it anyways.
And All Out. We did both. What a crazy weekend that was.
It's evergreen. Well, there's a Juice Springsteen. There's the Juice Orenthal, James Simpson. But either way, we're gonna cut it here. Because he murdered his wife with a knife.
Once again, thank you to Orenthal James Simpson for joining the program today. Always a good time with my boy OJ. Go check out the Juicebox Wrestling Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow him on the social medias. All of his info will be in the description below. Follow me as well at Apron Bump everywhere. Hey, you know what we got to do? Hit that goddamn jingle, Bartholomew.
WCW, ECW, WWF, who's the hardest promotion? Eric or Vince or Paulie? I think we can agree, though. Heck, Myers is the shit.
Shaw indeed. Alrighty then. The hardest promotion battle of 1997 continues. WWF versus WCW versus ECW. Once again, to recap the current score, WCW with 29, ECW with 25, WWF with 4 points. Let's talk about how we come up with these points. But the first thing we got to do is grade this show. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, sharing my screen, you can follow along visually if you would like. But if you're listening in audio land, I will talk you through it as well. First thing we got to do is grade this show from a scale of 0 to 100. Fall Brawl, 97. What are we thinking? We were saying, I believe like 75, mid 70s towards the end of the episode there. I think I maintain that that's pretty fair. 75, I think maybe lower mid. I'm thinking like 73, 74. 74, I think, feels fair. Good angle at the end of the show. Pretty good wrestling throughout. You know what? 76, actually. Not a lot of negative elements to this show. I think it was just very, very solid. And again, just a really fun angle at the end. Fun stories told throughout. 76 feels fair. 76. Which is pretty solid. I mean, that puts it definitely top 10 of the year. Yeah, pretty good here. So now we refresh this table and we look at each promotion and what their average grade for 1997 is among all of these shows, which, by the way, we've covered all of these shows in length if you want to go back in the archives and take a listen. But as of right now, ECW maintains the highest average grade with 73.5, WCW with 71, WWF with 64. So we move back to the overall scoreboard, and like I said, no change to there. So ECW maintains those 15 points. Now we move on to some more general kind of criteria and see who's doing the best right now. Best TV product. Best TV. Very general, but just who has given us the best, the most entertaining, the most effective, just the best TV. We're tracking WCW right now, and I think we're going to leave it there. Raw is not that good. ECW is kind of hit and miss. WCW is consistently, like, there's some good wrestling there. There's always like effort towards stories. It's the most engaging TV, I would say, WCW. Specifically Nitro. There's always storyline implications. There's big angles. There's promos. There's wrestling. It's just the most well-rounded TV product among the three companies right now. So WCW maintains those 15 points. So no changes yet. Best in-ring and best out-of-ring. I'm going to say this. WCW is capturing both of these, and I think we're going to leave it there. We're only like a week out from the last show that we covered from WWF. Not a lot has changed since then. So we're just going to leave in-ring and out-of-ring as WCW because, I mean, as what I just mentioned, I think WCW just has the most well-rounded, consistently quality product, both in-ring and out-of-ring at this present time. So WCW maintains those 20 points. So again, no changes yet, but let's move on to the best section. So these categories are going to be the best of 1997 so far. Best match of the year so far. We're tracking Bret versus Steve Austin at WrestleMania. Was anything on this show better than that? Eddie versus Jericho was pretty good. I think that's the only thing that would even be in contention, but it's not sniffing that. So WWF keeps those 5 points. Wrestler of the Year, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And this is in ring, out of ring, the whole package, right? So Steve is injured, but he's given us a lot of quality stuff as the aforementioned match of the year so far. In addition to all of his storyline and all of the segments and interviews he's done and will continue to do. And I've said it in previous episodes, people in contention for this, it's Stone Cold. You could throw DDP in there. You could throw Taz in there. You could throw RVD in there. Rey Mysterio, maybe? No, not Rey Mysterio. Who else? Again, comment if there's anybody I'm overlooking, but I can't think of anybody that really sniffs what Stone Cold is doing. You could throw Undertaker in there. It would still be WWF, so it doesn't really matter, but Mankind, you could throw in there. Who else? I said DDP. You can make an argument for Hulk Hogan, but no, not really, actually. Just make it trio. Eddie's on a good trajectory. Could be a sneaky contender by the time this year is over, but I don't think we're quite there yet. I think he's in the beginning stages of really being great. Yeah. We're gonna leave it as you could throw Ric Flair too, somebody. We're going to leave it as Stone Cold for now. Stone Cold maintains that, and WWF keeps those 5 points. Best character / storyline. We are tracking Taz. So I will say this. The Taz deal is kind of petering out for me at this present time. He's had a lot of good stuff with Sabu. That carried us, through the first third of the year, I guess. Ever since then, Taz has really just been leaning on his persona, on his presence, which has been great. He's been having good matches. TV champion. Love what he's doing. Dabbled in the Jerry Lawler drama a little bit. Stuff with RVD. Does anybody from WCW provide resistance to Taz here? Character / storyline. So this is not in-ring. This is just character storyline. Horseman stuff has been good. The whole Mr. Perfect, we closed out Fall Brawl with Perfect turning on Flair. That was something. The Mongo and Jarrett stuff. Kurt Hennig is he was teasing joining the Horsemen for a while, and then Arn retired. I just don't know if they've been consistent enough this year. It's my thought. NWO, you could always throw in here. Personally, I think they're kind of spinning their tires a little. I don't know. I think they're good. Obviously, it's capturing pop culture at this point in time. You can't disregard that, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Anybody else from WCW? Not that I can think of. Let me just rattle through my notes here real quick. Make sure I'm not Mortis and Wrath. No. Dean Malenko. Yeah, no one's really coming out to me. We'll leave it as Taz for now. I think Horsemen. We'll see how the Horsemen stuff plays out in the coming months. That's something that could overtake this. And I don't really know what ECW has for us. WWF has some wacky stuff as well to close out this year. So this is going to be a hot button criteria here, but Taz will maintain it for now for ECW. Best segment of the year. Jerry Lawler debuting at WrestlePalooza and attacking Dreamer and whoever the hell else was in there. Crazy segment. We talk about it in our WrestlePalooza episode. It's just a wild scene. The crowd went apeshit for it. It's filled with passion. It's anything from WCW. Like I meant, so the Arn retirement thing was big. My spot. Do I just put this? My spot is segment of the year. I don't think so. I wouldn't consider Kurt Hennig turning on Flair to be a segment per se. Just trying to think of anything else. Sting sending the Crow down to intimidate the NWO. You got. We're gonna leave it as Jerry Lawler. I think that's been the most impactful segment of the year so far, for sure. Has WWF given us anything? Am I missing anything? Don't think so. Not yet. Anyways. All right, so we move on to the worst section. No changes yet, but maybe the worst section will give us some changes. Worst match of the year, Undertaker versus Sid at WrestleMania. Yeah, that stays. Worst wrestler of the year, Prince Iaukea. Nobody from WCW would fall under here, I don't think. Again, nothing from this show that we just covered was that bad. Anybody else from WWF? Maybe? You could throw in like a Brian Christopher. You could throw in who else? Who was like in the IC title picture there? I guess Steve Austin's the champion. Ahmed Johnson you could throw in there, like a Savio Vega, Crush, the LOD perhaps. We'll leave it as Prince Iaukea, but I've said this in the past couple episodes. We haven't really seen a lot of the Prince lately, so his impact has not really been felt. You know, if it's only like what he did was pretty shit, but if it was only a flash in the pan, I don't know if I could say he's the worst wrestler of the year. So, but we'll keep an eye on that. Worst character / storyline of the year. We're tracking Honky Tonk Man, Rockabilly, Jesse James, all that stuff. Yeah. Again, nothing from WCW is tragically bad right now. Maybe the Ray Trailer stuff. That's not that bad. Deborah, you can throw in here. Man. Again, just kind of looking through my notes and see if any names come up. You could just throw like Buff Bagwell in there. I mean, just that crop of NWO, that can be like a all-encompassing bad storyline. Yeah, nothing really comes to mind here, so we'll leave it as old Rockabilly and Honky Tonk Man. Worst segment of the year, Miss NWO. Yeah, nothing's been worse than that so far. So that being said, again, it's been a while, but no changes to the scoreboard. We got pretty firm answers here so far for the past couple episodes, but still got a few months left in 1997. So make sure to stay tuned. WCW's got the lead right now, but big swings can change, and I know at least for WWF, they got a lot of stuff happening to close out this year. So we might see some changes on behalf of the World Wrestling Federation. So keep an eye out for that. But with that, I think that's about all Daddy has for you guys today. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Always appreciated. Always appreciate the support and the love and the kisses and the chocolates that you send me. I get no chocolates. It's not a hint or anything, but, you know. I'm actually not a huge chocolate guy. More of like a croissant guy, you know? I guess it's not really like No one's ever debating, do I want chocolate or do I want a croissant? But if you have the choice of sending me a box of chocolates or a basket of croissants, send me the croissants. Just food for thought. Wait, food for thought? Think about it. Anyways, love ya. Mwah. I'm hard.
Yeah. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started.